And here we go. The game's begun. Clutch 331 on North versus Califerbop on South. The grand final has begun. I'm excited. A team of 21 on South fight a team of 19 on North with more people to join as well. Grand game to all. Welcome, welcome. You've made it just on time. See you in 4 hours. Excellent. As we can see here in the north, we have some deconstructed walls that will eventually kind of be replaced. You need to create some kind of a barrier between yourself and the bugs. I was speaking about this earlier, but the opening patches are really, really generous. We have 600,000 stone here, a really generous amount of iron, close to 2 mil. Really lovely copper patches here too, and a lovely separate coal patch with a kind of bolted on coal patch to this copper patch here. So yeah, main base is healthy with some oil very close too. I can imagine that it won't take long really for the south or the north to build up main base. Beyond that, we are going to see some people make a beeline towards the bugs to begin threat farming. On the north, I believe Zero Sun with a couple of extra people on the back of their hard work will move up to the north and begin to fight the bugs. As you can see, here they are. This is why we're here. This is the main thrust of the game. At the beginning of the game, the bugs are very small. There aren't many of them and they're very weak. So for instance here, Cizik, welcome. I have the paint skills loaded and ready to go. However, we won't be overly using them to begin with. I like to use them to educate, but I think as a grand finals, we just want to talk about the action for this one. But as I was just saying here, the bugs, if I hover over them, are small. They are barely evolved, 0% evolved, so they're not that strong. And as the game goes on, they will get bigger, stronger, and faster, and they are going to be a problem. So, what do you do about that? Well, you need to build up a base. You need to research some tech, and you need to take the fight to the bugs when you can, because over the course of the game, they will get big, they will get nasty, and there'll be too many of them. At the moment, 19 bugs. Oh no, these are the player space. Sorry. The threat's pretty slow. What the hell? We don't have any starting threat. Okay, that's new, I think. I spoke earlier on as well about people not moving out to the east for, I mean, the mix patches are pretty nice, right? But beyond that, I can't imagine there being a huge clamour to have a late game outpost out here. I think we're going to see some purple spam. I mean, we're in the era of purple, right? So Sticklord and Fordeka heading out to the west with procs. I can imagine 1 or 2 more will join them for a outpost, probably in and around this area here. On their way, they need to kill off a couple of worms that will get in their way, but it's a pretty simple affair. All you need is a shotgun. If you don't have a shotgun, you can use your kind of submachine gun with a couple of bullets in them. You want to try and get yourself some armor on you as well, because the light armor is better than nothing. And you go and fight the worms as they come towards you. Avoid them as many as you can, but some of them will be in the way, and you'll have to detonate them as you go. If you die here, by the way, this is a massive time sink. Running into position is an underrated skill that a lot of new players get wrong. And for instance, if Sticklord goes down here, it's a long, long way back to main base to just start that journey again. So, as you can see here on the left-hand screen, a lot of technology has just been queued up. And if we take a look at the tech tree, the south are moving very quickly towards automation, electric mining, the bog standard stuff, right? You need logistics, you need inserters, steel, and then tech 2, green jugs. The north, however, a little bit of power's going down. Smelter city is down, sorry. Labs are being stuck down. They'll be hand-fed, I guess, to begin with. There aren't a ton of players in main, to be fair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 7 players in main base. Oh damn! Somebody's already been moved off the team. I wonder why. Okay, wow. Okay, well, hey, look, you got to be ruthless, man. It's a finals game. If the guy isn't listening or he's not taking instruction, the reason we have captains is because one person is leading the game. We literally have a captain of the game. So if you want to join this and play your way, that's just not how it goes. You need to be on Discord. You need to be able to listen to what's being said. And if you're given a role, then you need to fulfill that role. If it's too much for you, obviously say. But for a grand final, guys, we don't need any dead weight here. You know, if you do not want to perform, unfortunately, we don't need you. And I'd be like that. I am like that. In a friendly, in a nice and positive way. But if you can't pull your weight, guys, unfortunately, you can't stay. You know, we're all on the bus. We're all driving towards the same objective, right? You know, these guys up here aren't going to slow down. So if you're playing slow or not doing what your captain wants, or just taking up too much of your captain's time, unfortunately you'll be cut down to the wayside. Back to Spectator Island you go, and to think again. So Red Wraith already doing a fantastic job of threat farming. I guess the South will begin their... oh damn, dude, that's a lot. What? Is this right? How is this not a blueprint? That's interesting. Why are we building so much smelting down here as well? But nevertheless, anyway, moving on. We'll keep tabs on this. The North are finally clicking into their research. They are slightly far behind. I don't say far behind. The North have built a decent amount of red signs. They've consumed 12, built 17. The South have produced 24, consumed 16. So yeah, you know, we're keeping pace. I can't imagine one team goes overboard. It was built and I see. It's just an interesting build, dude. Look at this. There's like a kink at the bottom. I mean, I'll take it though. Blitzy and Carl on an outpost. Damn, dude. Blitzy's gone hard, mate. Blitzy's gone hard this whole tournament. I think Blitzy wants to be on the winning team all the time. So I'm looking forward to seeing if Blitzy can kind of be on the championship winning team right now. Mate, we say it every week, don't we? It's the people that are at the end. Kieran, welcome, mate. Welcome. We will continue on with Space Age. We absolutely will. This week, my streaming program, the one I use every week, that I've used every week for years now, somehow decided to absolutely explode. And I've been struggling all week to try and get it back in action. But yeah, 100%, dude. We're on Gleba at the moment, I believe. And we're going to continue on. We're going to continue on to the next one, So yeah, more Space Age to come. For now, however, Grand Finals. And welcome back, boys. Welcome back. What is it doing? Very strong question, Fish Bus. Welcome in, by the way. We are witnessing currently the two strongest teams that could be possibly assembled, minus a guy called Ghosty, but he's streaming, and that's okay, you know. Yeah, I'm worried, dude. The South haven't made any kind of attempt to move into the Bugs area, and it could be a slight misplay here, because we know for sure that Zero Sun, Red Wraith, these guys are relentless, right? They're going to start threat farming, and until they can be forced out of this position, they're going to keep going. So, I know that, you know, in the early part of the game, you could make an argument to say they're not that strong, the Bugs, and you don't really need to kind of pay too much attention to them, but that goes away fast. And not sticking anybody down here or any level of production in and around this area, like you could easily make a small grenade production factory down here that you hand feed, you know, ammo maybe. I just kind of wonder. And again, like, okay, we're only a couple minutes in now. Actually, let's just take it slowly, because we're only 8 minutes into the game, and I'm talking about, oh, we don't have production, we don't have X, Y, and Z. We've literally just started the game. Neither team have anything particularly egregious up and running, but we'll see it slowly spark into life as we go. As you can see here now, standard issue, we've got some iron gear wheels throwing into assembly one machines, plant a little bit of copper into that, and it will sprout some red jugs for you. So yeah, so far, I'm loving what I'm seeing from both teams. I'm slightly worried that we're smelting really far down. Is this a separate smelting stack to main? Like, are we not... It's a mixed... I see. We have been running lots of mixed... I don't know if you guys have seen this. We've been running a mixed patch bootcamp for a lot of newer players. So, yeah, I mean, if they can get up and running, dude, defenders are ridiculously strong. Like, horribly, horribly strong. And very, very soon, we should have the next pick phase coming in. So the teams will grow. We won't stay at 20 on 20 for very long. I believe we're going to end up with like 25 on 25, maybe even more. I'm not super jazzed about this. But then Timinator's here with Pavev. And this Smurf, this is 100%, I don't care what you say. This is Whisper. This is FTNS. We found him. He's back. But yeah. Oh, let me check on something real quick. For any of you guys that are Let me just type a follow command in real quick. Let's just do this real quick. I just need to check something on my Switch. Oh, I love this song. Holy shit. Big fan. Okay, perfect. Right. Menander's got a small outpost out here. Pavev and Atrixtion and Timinator out here. The north are not prioritizing the east whatsoever. They've gone threat farm to the north, and then there are some teams moving out to the west. A huge mix patch out here. Huge mix packs. Looks like an independent player out here as well. Maybe a little bit lost, but could be potentially a bit of a player. Toddy, Carl and Blitzy. See, this is something that I'd be interested in seeing as it goes, because like these are some really strong players out here. Carl normally plays in a multiple player outpost. So maybe down the line, once people like Rune like log in and get involved. I mean, now we're at 23, 25, right? And we're still missing some really big names in our server to come into this. So, I mean, look at this. HSUX, Zebra, 99 Names, Hydra, Massive Blue, Kawaii Pertails, Eagles here, Cogito. Like, there are some people that normally are in. Damn, you're right, dude. We've got some AFKs, and this is why we don't typically allow newer, maybe new is not the right word, more lesser experienced players, I'll put it that way, of joining in, because in the grand finals you don't want to have anything swung by a newer player. You don't need a newer player making any kind of impactful play negatively on your team. Positive impact 100%, but negative not so much. Everything should be closed, by the way. There's like, for me, around the corner, there's a corner shop that's open. I bought some chocolates earlier on. But I think, typically speaking, we should have mostly, majoritively speaking, a closed up area because of Easter. Yeah, and that's just the key, is that this ain't your granddad's Factorio. Right? This is not, any of you guys out there with thousands of hours, congratulations. You can play Pi, you can play Crastorio, you can play SpaceX, all that good stuff. It doesn't really translate to this. Other than the fact that the recipes are the same, the playstyles are wildly different. And the way that you can play this game needs to be dynamic and not set. So everything that you're going to see in this game, especially because it's a grand final, will be an adaptive game style. You're not going to see somebody create a plan, like for instance Califerbop starts working in one direction, it goes against him and he continues that way. It's just not how it works. You need to be adaptive. The same as your threat farmers, right? These guys up here, if they start planning for one thing to happen and all of a sudden they get forced out because of an evolutionary state of change, all of a sudden they need to adapt on the fly. You cannot keep throwing your energy, your effort, your time at the wall and expect it to cave in, right? It will break you before you break it. And so, you know, your threat farmers need to be adaptive, your main base builders need to be adaptive. When pressure like comes on, who's holding defensive items? We've seen it often this tournament, haven't we? I know I'm speaking to the initiated here because all of you guys have been, majoritively speaking, tuning in week in and week out, but like, if you're building in main and you're not holding grenades, you're fucked. Oh, I swore in the first 10 minutes, no, did I? Oh, 3 minutes out, YouTube will not demonetize me. Excellent. I did it, guys. I did it. My hands are in the air like I've just won the marathon, but I have a habit of swearing in the first 10 minutes and YouTube doesn't like that, so I don't get recommended, so nice. It is Easter. Happy Easter, everyone. If you celebrate it, if not, just I hope you're having a good Sunday. Hope everybody's doing well. Finally, the weather by me is warm. The sun is glorious. It's only going to be here for a couple of days, and then we're going to go back to winter. So, you know, for anybody out there in Britain, just enjoy this for now, because it's not going to last very long, you know. Very nice. All right, northern smelting stacks are going across from west to east, moving left to right, and they're slowly but surely getting plugged in and turned on. Meanwhile, the south are in a very similar point. Very similar point, in fact. Their smelting, however, is going east to west, right to left, and we are seeing the beginnings of their... Hang on a minute here. Have the north beat the south to the punch? Am I wrong in saying this? Not particularly. The South is slightly ahead when it comes to this race. But barely, though. If not, I'll have to starve. No. No, 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 no. What? Whose big idea is this? Yo, we need to figure out who did this. We need some forensic investigation as to who is queuing up fucking... Yeah, dude, get Steelax early. Like, what are we doing? Look, there's 2 researches now that have gone halfway through. Yeah, if you, by the way, if anybody's like in a game like this, you don't mess around with research. Leave it to the guys that have played this a lot. You know, do not mess around with the research queue. It needs to go a certain way at a certain time to hit certain timings. You can't just get what you want because it looks sexy. You know, there's a certain pathway down this that you need to kind of take and travel in order for you to get to a win. If you divert too much time into a technology you don't need, for instance, like trains, other than the fact that you need obviously rails for purple signs, you are slowing your team down. This is, at its fundamental core, this is a race. This is a kinetic contact sport type race where any slip up, any mistake, any misplay will be punished by the enemy team. It sounds a bit hard to understand having just maybe seen this for the first time, but I would say later on you'll see one team will slip, the other team will kind of push, and there'll be a massive discrepancy in how far one team are able to kind of get their advantage pushed ahead because of that slight slip up. So yeah, that's it. Oh damn. Now Morgan obviously is a power player. They like to build power, and a pack of 4 terrifying bugs swarm down the map. I wouldn't even bother with this, dude. Like, it's not. Yeah, they're gonna come here or not. It's bounce out. Guys, what do we think? What do we think? We're building power. We're not threat farming on South just yet. And we're building power within reaching distance, touching distance of the bugs. This will be a huge power block. I'm worried. We're gonna keep back. We're gonna touch base on this. This potentially is a very risky play. Very risky play. I'm worried about that. Power is yellow on South and bouncing. However, they should... Yeah, it's wild, dude. And even, yeah, dude, North and South. North and South. And I love this. I love this adaptation. You see something new every week, and I love the fact that instead of just having things being fed into singular machines, we just have like the rotating belt of selection, right? Round and round we go, and whatever it is you need, if you need a yellow inserter to be inserted, or a belt that needs to be belted, then here it is. On the carousel of choosing for green science. Although no research is currently happening for the North. Which is odd to me, because you have everything you could possibly potentially want. But never mind, I mean, they're getting their main base up and running, it looks like. And the South are just slightly quicker to the punch here on this. Slightly quicker to the punch. 23 on 24, there's a 1-player discrepancy between the North and the South. This is starting to really shape up to be a nice, very close as well so far, very even contest. Neuro's gone for the mixed melting. I'm not entirely sure what this turned into, but there is a lot of it going down. Cliff build is mixed melting to the bottom here. Potentially we could see some spam. Kajito on the South with Cheesecake again, looking to build up some... Damn. Funky Man being told, don't do the thing. Let's do a quick check. 73. That's a lot of early game stuff. That's a lot of early game items. Damn. Yeah, you don't even need them. Heavy armor going in as well. Early shooting upgrades for the south. I fucking hope we don't see an ammo belt, dude. Holy. I just, I'm not sure, dude. Like, how many people are here? It's just Kojito, right? I just get somebody in there. There's 4 of you down here. Like, take Cheesecake, for instance. Grab this guy. Damn, this guy's lagging, eh? Do you know what I mean? Like, grab someone. That's a fair point, John. That's a fair point. It can be very good for the healing of items, but I just for the early game, like surely you slap that in between waiting for like military signs and blue type signs to come up. You can kind of like slap in a couple of like red signs, you know, kind of simple bits and pieces. I don't hate it, but I'm just worried about these guys right now. They're not accelerating off. Whereas like Red Ray for now, you can see the destruction that's around him. He's just absolutely killing the bugs and driving the threat into the negative 1000 this early into the game is perfect. This is exactly what you want from a threat farmer right now. You couldn't really ask for much more other than another person or 2 people to help him do this. But in the background, in the meantime, Zero-Sun and Marek are building up the more defensively sided base, where you'll end up with lots of free grenade production and yeah, hopefully down the line some defenders. So yeah, has to be, mate. You know, go early shooting upgrades, and then just make your way down, like, because if you don't take the fight to them, the rest of the map becomes aggressive, right? At some point you need to concede the fact that time, effort and energy needs to come down here. And I'm just worried, this guy looks a little bit laggy. Not massively so, but, you know, slightly laggy. But the shotgun's strong. And at this point in the game, 2.9% of evolution, the bugs are easy to kill. It's more about like how you run, the pathing you take, that will kind of dictate whether or not, you know, you're kind of doing it in the most efficient way. So as long as he doesn't get stuck on any acid puzzles, he'll be fine. And the threat farmer has finally begun for the south. So now they've evened it up a little bit, but potentially with the smelting going on south here, if they can turn this into the right kind of items, I mean, yeah, they could accelerate massively. I mean, this is in comparison to the north's like defender base, I guess, which is kind of compact, small. And I really like the fact that we're making use of the initial gun turrets that we get given at the beginning of the game. Like, it doesn't happen often, but, you know, some people just leave these be and then just don't make the most of it. So what Red Rafe's doing right now, and I'll just quickly use, you know, a bit of illustration here because I can and I've got some time, is he's running out, collecting the bugs, and then running back towards the... So running out, magnetically, like bringing the bugs back into a kill zone, and the bugs just die in this kill zone. And that's a really good way to do it. Run out, run back, they die in this little kill zone. I don't need to spend too much time, the guns do all the work, and in the background I can kind of like handcraft all the stuff I need for late game, or fish. You know, because you need these healing items down the line. Like, at the moment, the bugs, when they tap you, do minimum damage, but later on, they are going to, like, chunk through your health, especially if you're not wearing heavy armor. They will absolutely cripple you if they don't, if you don't look after yourself. So, a huge base coming down here from Neuro. I really like the look of this. Okay, strong amount of power going down as well. Equally so for the south, power looking decent. Red green has just popped up like that. Holy crap, missed this, but here we go. Red and green is up and running. It's churning out at a decent rate, you know, decent rate. Slowly but surely we'll kind of pick up the pace, but that's a really solid amount of research to begin the game with. And meanwhile, damn, the north are just a little bit behind the curve on this, just a tiny amount. The upgrades are 2 times for turrets. I think so, yeah. The north are going for, well, they're going for military signs first, and then they're going for their projectile damage. So I'm sure down the line, damage and speed will get kicked into. I mean, you may as well. You're going to need it. Everyone's going to need it. But so far, though, I just like the north's research. I mean, look at the size of this. They'll be able to fly through research. Absolutely fly through research here. But the north are no slouches. They're just missing a couple of labs, a couple of layers of labs to just help buff up the amount of science they need to get through. Again, the tech tree is massive, absolutely huge. And as we can see here, yeah, North created their first green science early. Obviously, they had that massive flower. They've consumed 40 of them, so technically they are further ahead. But damn, dude, the South have just got this monster they're feeding at the moment. You're right, Akema. It's nice to see them using an item that you get given at the beginning of the game that doesn't really have a function. I'm going to be honest, like most people, by the time you get to the 30-minute mark, the gun turret is useless. So why not in that 30-minute of time where it has some viability, use it? It's free, firstly, so you don't need to build loads. You know, I wouldn't argue potentially for a, you know, like a gun turret line with like ammo and stuff, but if you can use them, then why not? Because at the moment, right, the Souths are just sitting here and they're not really doing anything. You're not making the most of them. Whereas like these guys up here, a couple hundred kills each, right? 138, 400 kills, 355 kills. I mean, tell me that's not a good play, right? That's a value play happening right there. So yeah, I love to see it. Good morning from Australia. Howdy? Fucking hell, what am I talking about? Bloody American, isn't it? G'day. Welcome. Want to pass on thanks for casting the matches and VOD. It's been great to see them in my feed again. Fantastic. Hey, I'm really glad you're enjoying it. It's been a mixed bag of games and also of casting standards. But welcome, and mate, look at that. I'd never have thought in a million years that somebody all the way across the world is watching the videos and enjoying them. I assume that most people that watch the videos are watching them and hating them, and that's why I get so many downvotes on the on the games. But yeah, I'm glad you like what you see, and there's more to come. This obviously is the end of the grand finals. You know, this is the big final, and we've had a tournament running for a while, but the YouTube channel and the videos are going to keep coming. I'm going to play some games. I've got some beginner tutorial content to come out as well for newer players, and we're just going to build this up. You know, the scene, if you want to call it a scene, the community is growing. We have loads of new people coming in of all different skill levels, and yeah, this is kind of like a showpiece event that has managed to get a lot of eyes on. So thank you firstly for your support. In fact, to every single person here right now, I wanted to say this at the end of the stream, but I'll say it now. I may as well, since we're threat farming and not much is happening. Willkommen, mein Freund. Wie geht's? That's about as much German as I'm comfortable of saying on stream without sounding like an idiot. Yeah, thank you for everyone. If you're watching this video on YouTube, thank you for following. Thank you for watching the games. It's been a pleasure having you guys comment on the videos. If you like what you see, leave a comment. Tell me who you think's going to win right now. If you're watching on YouTube, I think Clutch is going to win. I think Califerbop's going to win. Send a comment in. Let's see if you're right in half an hour's time. Or wrong. You know, you're probably right. You're a legend, so you're always right, obviously. But yeah, I just want to say it's really warmed my heart to know that each week we get a couple of people coming in to watch, a couple of people in commenting and making jokes and swapping stories, and you know, a couple of people playing the games. It's really good fun, and I'm really, really proud actually of this. Oh, you're too kind. You're too kind. It makes me proud that we've managed to create a space here. And when I say we, I really do mean everyone. All the viewers, all the chatters, everybody spamming emotes, everybody spamming bad music at me, good music at me, everybody involved. We've made this place a really good place for me personally to be in. And I just want to say thank you to everybody because it's been a pleasure. I'm not going to stop doing it. I'm going to keep going. But it's just reminded me that you know, your space is whatever you want it to be. And for me, we've gone through, I mean, what were we looking up a couple of weeks ago? We were looking up clown metal. We were looking up fusion jazz music to see if we could, like, some of the most random, and it made the stream fun, you know? We listened to some clown music. We listened to some experimental music. And we just went on like a 35, 40 minute troll through the internet to try and find something that nobody's heard of before. You know, a genre of music that's just so unique that it doesn't exist outside of our stream. And we nearly got there. Damn, dude. That is the first proper death of the run. And for all of you guys and girls out there that don't know, or that do know maybe, we press F to pay our respects. Where are my emotes gone? Have they disappeared? F in chat, guys. We've lost a good one. A good one's gone down. Damn. He'll be back again. He rises again. Romex Pro. He's on his way back out to his base. Nothing of value is lost other than his time. He can pick his body back up. There is one very angry worm out here. I've heard of Clown Core. So outside of the finals games that we have, trust me, when I stream my normal weekly Saturday game stream, we're going to have some fun with this. We are going to have some fun. I've managed to plug in my guitar that's next to my stream. So I want to kind of do a little bit of a like a jam sesh, because sometimes the games, like, there's like periods of time where nothing's really happening, or there's nothing really to commentate on. So we could just jam out for a bit, right? I'll rip out some solos. You can tell me how terrible I am at playing the guitar, and we can have some fun. I'll take requests. You know, I'm not playing Stairway to Heaven though. Doesn't matter how many times you ask. I know how to play Stairway to Heaven. I'm not playing it for you. Stairway denied. And if any of you guys get that reference, you're a legend. How good is that film? I need to watch Wayne's World again. I know we're going off on a tangent here, but what a film. Wayne's World. Oh my god. How good. Anyway, sorry, I'm meandering away from the context, or the content at hand here. A huge base. A behemoth of a base. In fact, a behemoth of the mixed patch is currently being... Not. Swing. Zang. Oh my god, so many quotable lines. I just love it. I love that film so much. More greetings from Germany. From inside a train. I guess I'll have to summon power and oil remotely today. Nice. Yeah, so this behemoth mix patch is currently being farmed by multiple teams. You don't see that very often. A lot of the time people just move into these areas and grab one. Today is not the day I starve to death. Okay, let us in, Cizik. What is it for dinner? Is it a bread sandwich? With a side of bread? Because we don't want you to starve, mate. Absolutely not. Talking of starving though, I do have the opportunity to be sponsored by HelloFresh. We were talking about this earlier on. I'm not sure if I want to take anybody up on that offer, but I'm getting to a point now where I can start getting sponsorships, but I just don't want to sell out, you know? I don't want to be that guy that's like grifting, that's the right word, grifting terrible products. Dinner is not a pot noodle. Oh, damn. Dinner of champions. Dinner of legends. You deserve a pot noodle, mate. You're a legend. Threat farming is going very strong, though. The South are managing to catch back up. They started off slowly. I know, yeah. Let's take a look at him. Because, you know, it's been a while since I've been down here, and they didn't start strong. But, I mean, they've managed to drive into the minus 2,000. And considering there was a gap of about 15, like 20 minutes... Jimmy's purple may push through. Yeah, dude. I honestly think we're going to be seeing some red here. Has to happen. Has to happen. Purple is like the play at the moment. And again, look, Pitter's in the game as well. If any of you guys know your speedrunners, you'll know Pitter for sure. 100%. Legend of the speedrunning community. And he's in a grand final. Potentially, maybe, having a massive impact winning it. But I'm loving this. What a great game so far. Everything is just clicking into place, ticking in really nicely. There is nobody slacking off here. There's no slouches. I'm not entirely sure what Funky Man's up to, but I'm sure it's going to be a next level play. Marek and Red Wraith, or I think it's Marich. I think that might be like a CCH type thing. Marek and Red Wraith doing absolutely amazing threat farming so far. Meanwhile, Zero Sun and Shubao, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, building up the defensive base to eventually build defenders. So you love to see that. Out here, dude. I mean, what do you reckon? Are we thinking spam out here? Military science, potentially? Yeah, here we go. Oh, I love to see it. Cliff, you mad lad. Will it have the intended purpose? North have built 202 military science. None have been consumed, but 91 have been sent. And as 91 gets sent away, and I might have missed the initial send just from... where's my little dials? Here we go. At the 30-minute mark, so 4 minutes ago, 91 military science jugs were sent over from the north to the south, And that bumped the evolution up by 7 points and added an extra 300 threat. So the bugs on the south are a little bit stronger, a little bit harder to kill. And we see now a wall is being produced. Defensive lines are being drawn. Now again, the bugs are still killable. All the way up to about 50 to 60%, you can handle them. But eventually they will handle you. You're always on the clock on this game mode, so I wonder if the South have any kind of counterplay to this. I wonder if the South have got some spam of their own. Because there's no way that you just allow a tiny little base out here, by the way. Tiny base. To just slowly but surely just push the pressure up a little bit at a time. And before you know it, that pressure turns into a snowballing roll of just pain, tragedy, and terror. You know, as your side, you know, the southern side gets aggressed on by bugs they can't control, bugs they can't kill, and bugs they can't manage. And it forces the threat farmers far away from here. Far away from here, behind their defensive lines. Hiding, crouching behind their walls, throwing grenades. Here we go, engines being built. Ads, damn. Again, what I may do, or what I'd like to try and do, is snipe ads when things are not happening. So apologies for that, guys. Apologies for that. Let's I had to learn about the working conditions at a hair conditioner manufacturer. Oh damn, Cramley goes down. The South have lost another good player. F in chat, guys. The South have lost 2, the North stands strong. Cramley is the second. Oh my god. Had to learn about working conditions at a hair conditioning manufacturer. Damn, dude. I just want to, just for anybody out there that wants to know, I run the least amount of adverts I possibly can. So the lowest amount, you should see basically none of them, just one every I think 45 minutes, I think. I'm getting better at running them during the pick phase so we don't get any during the game. But yeah, it ties back down to the money. You don't make money on Twitch, right? You don't really, I mean, you can if you have thousands and thousands of people subscribe to you, but you don't really make money doing this. Dude, Dawid's getting low. So many acid puddles around as well. Be careful, dude. What a good job he's doing, though. You got to give it credit. You got to respect it. He's right in the middle of things. You know, at this early part of the game, he does not have heavy armor. He's got light armor and a shotgun and a dream. A dream of winning his team the game. Dawid, you legend. And I want to say, Dawid with a W sounds kind of like Welsh to me. Like David or Dafeth. I might be wrong there. And apologies to any Welsh listeners if I've just butchered your language. To anybody that isn't Welsh, that was perfect Welsh. Don't question it. Or that would maybe potentially Eastern European. I don't know. But doing a good job. Doing a really good job. Yeah, so the sponsorship opportunities I have in front of me at the moment, and again, we will talk back about the game because there's a lot going on, but it's actual money. I could pay my bills with it. I could fill up my car. I can pay my mortgage with it. It's not life-changing money, but it's certainly enough to pay for my heating, pay for my food. I always thought Dawid was... Yeah, I think so too, dude. I'd like to think it's a Welsh player, you know? Cleaning up the worms deep to make space for... Yeah, dude. It's how you do it. So if I'm down here, my aim is to take out these guys and leave the spawner bases themselves. And then obviously they're going to build defensive lines either way, right? But if I'm here and I'm involved in this, I want to try and cut a path through the... Oh, yellow's the worst possible. color to do this in. I want to kind of cut a path through the spawner buildings without killing them, but obviously not get spat at and walk through acid. So there is like an optimal way of doing it. What I tend to do when I start a game is I try and pick like a route through where I think I'm going to grab as many of them as possible. You can't necessarily win every time, because ultimately, like, you know, defenders eventually will kill all the bases around you, but as you're using grenades at the beginning of the game, you can forge a path through. You know, you can try and get yourself in and through these like gaps and cracks within the bugs, and that way you're getting maximum efficiency. MS Paint certified stream. I'm glad you guys like it. I'm glad you guys like it. I kid you not, this week has been an absolute ball ache. It's taken me 5 days to reinstall the Paint program and get it working. I feel like a NASA engineer. I've had to write Python lines, like lines of Python code. I'm not a coder. I'm not an engineer. I feel like I've learned a foreign language today. Not today, the last week. Mental, mate. I'm lagging, damn dude. So yeah, you might see me get sponsored. If it's anything that I do, I'm going to try and make sure it's relevant to the stream. So it's going to be gaming related, book related, or food related. No, mate, I've got a friend of mine who he's an actual programmer, and I said to him, I was like, I've got this Python script, because that's all this is, by the way. If any of you guys want to know how I do this, this is just a Python script. It breaks every now and again, because the guy who made it years ago, and it hasn't changed in those years, so it needs updating constantly, or it just breaks, it doesn't work, and yeah. What I'm trying to say is I'm basically Bill Gates now, you know. I talk to my computer talked back, and synergistically we created a better life for humanity through ChatGPT, AI-generated videos. Oh, and talking about AI-generated videos, by the way, guys and girls, we have AI-generated songs. At the end of this stream, I have, and I didn't make this, I can't claim any kind of credit for this, King of Goo Goo has made AI-generated songs to celebrate either Clutch or Califerbop, and I might listen to them both. We'll play the winner's song first, but I might listen to both of them on stream, and then we can rate them. We can see who did a better job, because one of them's got a banging guitar solo in the middle of it. Really good. I'm kidding. Like, I'm not kidding. Sorry, genuinely very strong guitar solo. I like it. Okay, threat farming is relatively equal. The south are still dealing with stronger bugs than the north, and they're only about 6% off dealing with mediums as well. So at the beginning of the game, all the bugs are devolved. They're at the lowest standard they possibly could be. With these brown shells, they're called small bugs. We're 6% away on the south from seeing the next step up. I saw that. What was the point in that? What is the point? I don't talk a lot of politics, because there's no point. Like, everybody's got their beliefs, and you're more than entitled to them. Like, who am I to tell you what to believe in and what not to believe in, right? It's your life. You do what you want, believe in what you want. But oh damn, somebody said kicked. Yeah, dude, tensions are high. Sourceless new. Let me just check on this player real quick. Because you can't be skimming lines, like, you cannot be taking. Right, let me just get real quick. Sourceless. He has 50 games, there or thereabouts. Top 300, no, just inside the top 350. He should know what he's doing, but again, if someone asks you to leave, you gotta leave, my dude. You are some random dude on the internet. Who better to tell me what to believe? A politician would be better. I mean, how many politicians do you know that knows about Factorio? Is all I'm saying. I would rate somebody if they turned around and went, yeah, by the way, I play Space Age with my kids. Honestly, like, it would make them so much more relatable. Not just to me, but I think to a wider audience. And I don't want my politicians to be like Fortnite legends, right? I don't want them, you know, clapping cheeks in Modern Warfare or anything, but it would make them more relatable. If somebody turned around to me and went, hey guys, and I know that some people have tried it, but it hasn't necessarily been, purple's coming. Purple's come. I mean, they're at 4. I mean, look how fast this is, dude. Normally at this point in the game, I don't even talk about blue signs. We're barely touching the sides when it comes to like green, grey. But with 26 people on either side, Jesus, I mean, it's fast, dude. It's so fast. And blue is flying in, by the way. This isn't like slow at all. Let's look at conversely to the north. It's not there. And this is just it. Jimmy is a cheat code. Now, beyond blue takes a little bit of time. So maybe the north might be able to scrape back a little bit of time lost, but they're yet to get their blue signs build up and running. It's here. It's here. It can be turned on, but it's not there yet. So there's definitely. Yeah, Pitter is ridiculous, mate. Actually ridiculous. But do you know what, though? Califerbop had his choice of anybody else, and he got them, you know? His team is absolutely his picks. The same with Clutch. Clutch wanted this player group, and he got them. These are the best of the best, minus Ghosty, obviously. But still the very, very best of the server. Best of the current playing group, anyway. It's been a while since I played. I'm very, very rusty, but I'd still be a legend, obviously. And yeah, flying. Absolutely flying. Let's check in on the research. South are queuing up purple, of course they are. Advanced processing 2 and a car. North are going for modules and a battery. They already have car. They have obviously a repair pack. Who wouldn't want that? Obviously stay humble. Obviously. They've gone for lab research 1 and stronger explosives 1 as well, helping out their threat farmers who eventually will be turning on these. They're going poison? Interesting. No defenders? I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all, actually. Poison makes more sense. I mean, defenders are expensive, and it requires you to go for, like, follower robots, too. So I don't hate that, in fact. That's actually a really interesting adaptation. And flamer turrets being built right near the front line. Again, really nice play. You know, almost a double line here. So we've got a defensive line here, like a layer 2, layer 1. You love to see it. They're planning for some pressure. They're planning for some pain. Yeah, 100%, dude. It's kind of like immovable object meets the unstoppable force. It in many ways, it's kind of like, you know, how do you beat the pressure that they're managing to diffuse? And it's by pushing your own levels of pressure on. Yeah, this is a good game. This is a chess match. For any of you guys new and that aren't too sure about what's happening, I'll probably do a breakdown of the finals game for like newer players down the line. But this is very much a chess match at the moment. You know, neither team wants to blink or show too many of their moves. I'm imagining somewhere tucked away in here, and it must come from here, right? It has to come from here. There's got to be a purple build, or a yellow even build. Because, like, military science is going, J-Roy, no. J-Roy, no. The North's first death, by the way. The North have lost their first player. 2 to the south, 1 to the north. Damn. But at minus 8,800 threat, he's done well. He's done very well. You know, the south, by the way, are at minus 3,400, and if they don't get this wall up very soon, the bugs will evolve. They will convert into medium-sized bugs. In fact, they already have. Here we go, medium biters. These purple shell guys, next to Dowid's corpse. Yeah, dude, this is rough for them. They don't necessarily have to stop threat farming right now, but they can't necessarily run in. You'd need heavier armor. Checkmate in 20 minutes. Damn. Okay, so yeah, the flamer wall gets built, the actual wall itself gets built, and they're going to begin to just defend up a little bit now. As you guys know, the bugs will come from every angle. They don't just come directly towards you, right? You know, you might have a base that you want to defend, and yes, they will run this direction, but they're also kind of get around you. And like we've seen so often in these games that these side swipes, these lateral movement pattern of the bugs happens every game. We should not be naive to thinking that this isn't going to happen this game. So yes, of course, it's great having a really strong front door to make sure the bugs can't kick it down, but They will go around this lake. 100% they will go around this lake. So we need to be careful on both sides as to how we path. You have to. You need to think sideways. North and south thinking is fine, but that lateral thinking, very important. But yeah, Red Wraith's in this car. He's running around. He's doing... In fact, let's follow Red Wraith for a bit. I don't do this enough. So what Red Wraith is doing at the moment is he's collecting a tailwind of bugs. As you can see, just behind his car, a tailwind has occurred. He's grouping them up by circling back on himself and creating these kind of S-shaped patterns. And by gathering the bugs up, he's making the most of each grenade he throws at the pack of bugs. And it's the most efficient play that he could possibly make. You'll see them group up here behind his car, and one grenade will explode a pack of roughly 20 to 40 bugs. That's one grenade, which is very cheap to make. You can obviously have hundreds of grenades on you at any given time, meaning that as long as you're allowed to make this play, as long as the bugs stay weak enough to be susceptible to this play, this is a good play to make. You're not using a lot of resources, the car keeps you relatively safe, and when you need to park up, you can heal it with those repair packs we saw them invest in early on. So again, the North are... How do I want to put this? How do I want to sum this up? The North are in control outside of main base building. Look at this on the South, right? The South are primed. A bullet is in the gun, the hammer has been cocked, and they're aiming the gun at their target, but it's not going to go off yet. They haven't dialed it in, but the gun is ready to go. Their defenses are getting there, building, I want to say, but you know, the threat farm's not really going to take effect yet until they get better either upgrades or better items for themselves. The North, however, are in control of the narrative of this game, right? Minus 10,000 threat, we're under an hour into the game. So they are absolutely smashing the control of this game without being in control of the research. So again, no blue. They still haven't created any blue jugs yet. And that's massive. That's huge, in fact. Because there's a whole element of the tech tree, a whole part of the tech tree that hasn't been explored yet. And they've now, at the 49-minute mark, so 2 minutes ago, they created their first blue jug. Conversely, the South at the 41-minute mark, 8 minutes prior to the North's first appearing, they created theirs. The North have produced 500 plus, they've consumed 250 plus. The North have consumed 38, they have yet to consume them yet. But then again, the North have sent half a thousand, so 500, which is half a thousand, by the way. I wasn't speaking like an idiot, even though it sounded like that. Yeah, 500 military science jugs going over to the South. And that's why we can see a difference in the evolution. North of fine sat at 7.8% evolved bugs. Meanwhile, the South, 24%. I don't know what's happening here, but I like it. Cramley goes down. Another sudden death. Another sudden death. That takes us to 4. Damn. People are dropping like flies at the moment. And again, as the bugs get bigger, as they evolve a little faster, they become faster themselves. They have more health, they're harder to kill. Yeah, Soldier's having problems as well, dude. I feel bad because I feel like if you were, like people like Enkling and the Soldier, if you were to put them on our European ping, they would dominate. It wouldn't even be a question. Like, if Enkling had the chance to play on a 100 MS, because he's playing from like Malaysia, right? He's playing from the Philippines. If he was to play on European ping, dude, it wouldn't be close. It wouldn't even be close. And we have somebody trying to red belt. Oh no. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Somebody is trying to red belt main on South in a grand final. Oh, get out. Go home. Dude, I'd kick this guy right now. Serious. For any of you guys that don't know, we don't red belt. It doesn't need to happen. Trust me, you do not need the throughput, and just because it goes quicker doesn't mean it means it's better. It costs more money. I would kick the player that is currently doing this because they're wasting your iron. A resource that you need throughout the entirety of the game is currently being wasted. And that in its own right is potentially slight grief, mini grief, small grief. Yeah, just a couple of 100 miles, it's fine, you know? Yeah, well, this all points back down to, and I know I said I wasn't going to talk about myself, but I'm going to just briefly plug as a video. Yeah, dude, holy crap. I'm going to plug a video that's coming out very soon. I've got 2 in the works, but 1 has been finished. The first video that's going to come out on the YouTube channel after the grand finals is made is a 10 things to avoid doing as a new player. So 10 things in biter battles that you should just avoid doing. And they're the obvious ones. We know all of these things, right? You guys come in every week, you tune in, you know what's going on. Red belting is one of those things. The same way that taking high value items like red and blue chips, again, can grief your team, so there's no point in doing it. I'm slightly worried about creating a don't grief your team by doing this. But at the same time too, I then want to create another video after that. So the 10 things you shouldn't do has already been made. I'm just kind of tweaking it because the volume's a bit weird in some areas. The song gets really loud randomly. So I need to figure out how to balance that. And then the second video is 10 things you can do to help your team in biter battles, right? So you've got 10 things to avoid doing. Repair packing bots is obviously one of them, and griefing your team by, you know, going to an outpost and just playing randomly with people that don't want you there. And coincidentally, we're going to make 10 things you should do as a new player. And obviously one of those, and you guys will know this because I speak about it every week, building power, you need it all the way through the game. It's a thankless task, but it's necessary. Beyond that as well, you know, building walls, for instance. So I've got like a 10 things that I think a new player would like. And if for anybody out there that's just found biter battles recently, or that's just really enjoying the content, thinking, I wonder what if I should get involved in that. I wonder if I should do that. Hopefully that helps them. Because, you know, us veterans, us people that have been around the block and they've been here for a long time, we know what's up. We know what's happening. We know how to play. There's no issue for us. But you forget sometimes there are some Red Wraith goes down. Damn. Did his car die? Big F for Wraith, dude. Holy. Damn. 2 on north, 4 on south. We're keeping tabs. We're keeping tabs. The bugs have a KDA. Sometimes you just don't die. What's the famous there's a famous saying from is it Smash Brothers? No, it's from that famous documentary, the Smash Bros documentary. Just don't get hit. You know, how do you win? Just don't get hit. I think that's also like a boxing term as well. You know, the best way to play is to not get knocked out. So, how far away are we from purple? And are any of these outposts making it? So we have a massive red chip producer here on this southern... Yeah, I mean, golf's easy, mate. You just got to get it in every time. Okay, no spam's being created here. Do we have any spam? Any laser? Okay, we've got flamer base out here. That's really nice. Really nice, dude. You have like 30 odd flamers here. Romex, I'm not entirely sure what this guy's up to. I'm pretty sure this guy doesn't realize he's in a grand final. He's just playing the game, vibing. That's fine. Pavev's base. Oh yeah, these guys. Yeah. The hard carries. Damn. Here it is, boys. Here it is, boys and girls. 57 minutes into the game. I'm sure that we've missed it by a couple of minutes, but the very first purple jug was created at the 57-minute mark. No, we're here. We're here. They've made 51 of them, and I've said this all the way through the game, all the way through the tournament. We are in a purple era where purple dominates, and until we find a way of recalibrating, we don't want to nerf stuff, but purple just seems overtuned at the moment, and this in particular might just be it. The North are in trouble. Is there any counterplay? And beyond that, let's mix the music up. What do you guys want to listen to? I'm willing to take some suggestions, guys. What music do we want to hear on the stream? What is grand finals worthy music? I was going to go for like some liquid drum and bass, because it's been, in fact, you know, whilst we choose the music, let's stick on some liquid drum and bass for now. So if you guys think of something, let me know. Type it into chat, we'll find it. And in the meantime, we'll stick with this for now. The South have gone for repair packs. Okay, game winning. Factoria Nerdcore, there has to be. There has to be. It would not surprise me if Nerdcore wasn't... Do I even search for it now? Right, give me a second. Give me a second. The suggestion has come all the way from Australia. I will honour the suggestion. Right, let's check out. This database has millions of songs. Sorry if it's just laggy whilst I check my... Nerdcore. Oh, no. But do you know what they do have? No. There's no way. Sorry if it's slightly laggy. Just bear with me. This is Nord Nerd. Nord is in, like, Swedish? Or Northern? I don't know. N-O-R-D. Nord Nerd. What do we think? Any good? I'll type it into chat because I don't even know how to... There is a playlist called Nord Nerd. And I'm not entirely sure if I'm happy about that. But yeah, I'm sorry. This is just like really basic trap. That's not for me. Sorry. Nords are a racing sky. They are, aren't they? Oh my god, they're completely going over my head. They are. The Nords. Damn, what a great reference. I completely missed that. Typically it hits around 52 or even 48. Yeah, dude, you're right. You're right. Nord Nerds. So potentially whoever made that song is a Skyrim enjoyer. Damn, another death from Wraith and a car. Damn. We lost the car. It kind of makes me a little sad. We're just going to stay here for just a second. Damn, dude. 3 for the north, 4 for the south. The south have stopped bleeding kills. Zero Sun's just like circling the body like this is how it's done, man. Although, I tell you what though, I really like the poison capsule play. This is really nice. Now again, obviously, the north have had purple sent to them, and we did slightly miss that looking up Nord Nerd music. So, 129 purple jugs boosted the north's evolution by 24 points. That's nothing. 129 jugs is nothing. So now the north are in trouble. Yes, they have a negative threat. And yes, they can obviously threat farm with poison capsules all the way to behemoths. But from now on, they're going to have to deal with purple sending. In Maine, however, blue is kind of there. They're just researching purple. You know, purple will eventually kick in. Do we have anybody spamming out here? Do we have anybody ready up? I like this. Okay, I really like this. We've got some wall production, some really nice wall production here. Big fan of this. Hadja, man, take a bow. I say this every week. To make an impact on the team, you don't need to be big brain. Sometimes you just need to do the simple stuff, and this is great. Yeah, it's how it has to happen, man. I would park a load of cars here and just say, look, take one. Park a load of cars, put a load of fuel in a box. And yeah, dude, what a hero play Hadja's made just then. Although power in this outpost is slow, and we're yellow and bouncing power, okay? That's not across the board though, right? Yeah, yellow and bouncing for the north, damn. This is scary. This is scary. One of your power blocks is not being fueled because it's hand-fed. No, okay, some coal's coming in. But this power block is hand-fed, right? And it is dry. Scary. As 210 more flasks go over, we're now at 46.9% for the north. We're cresting close to that 50% evolutionary state where they go again from mediums to big. It's a kind of a turning point for most teams defensively as Roy gets taken out. Well, the car at least. Does Roy survive? Roy does not. 4 north deaths to 4 south deaths. And positive threat on the south. But they do have a wall and some flamers, but not everywhere. Oh, this is close. This is a nightmare mode. The south are doing well, But if they can't handle a positive threat, and 31%, it's not that it's not that great. Like if a 31% bug bumps into like this base or like this base, you know, if you don't have grenades on you, it's gonna tear through. It's gonna tear through your stuff. So like be aware. And yeah, the North have been really, really good at getting that threat like super low early on. Like again, 100 threat, you know, you can farm that back and you can go into the negative again, but you're not actively out here in the middle of the bugs fighting them. Yeah, dude. The rock. I blame the rock. Now, big question here is, are they going any further into their research? Laser turrets are being researched for the North, bulk inserters and then inserter capacities. The South have nothing queued. That's it. Purple. It's on, like Donkey Kong. They've set the stall out. It's going to be a purple game. Deal with it. I think that their farming has been more effective because they sent somebody straight away. I mean, somebody came here instantly for the North. Meanwhile, on the South, it took them about 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes to get anybody to kind of just show up and start defending. And it might sound a bit odd, but the moment you can start that journey of negative 500, negative 1,000, damn, there's going to be a lot of F's in chat. Kajito goes down. 38% bugs on the South, 46.9% on the North. So we're not a million miles away here from, you know, both teams being under pressure, apart from the barrier the North have created. They just had somebody, it was Red Wraith most of the time, was just deep inside bug territory causing problems. And yeah, potentially a lot of newer names, a lot of new faces. Doesn't necessarily make them good or bad, but there's nuances to the playstyle that maybe they don't know. Maybe they haven't grasped fully yet. So yeah, some upgrades it looks like are coming in now for the North. All right, no, South are going laser and then fully into their laser upgrades all the way up to the maximum. Lasers have been researched on the North and they're going inserter capacity 2. Skirt around. Do we have anything moving towards purple on the North? Do we have anybody trying to build spam? Is their power bounced back at all? Yes, in a way. Do we have purple spam at all? No, this military signs keeps ticking in. I assume, yeah, we're going to get some. Bolted onto the end there. I'm slightly worried about like the end of this game for the North, right? I worry where they take... No, I'm not worried at all. I'm actually not worried one bit. The South aren't out of this, but I think the North have masterfully ridden this out. I'm talking about multiple aspects of this game. They have been in control most of this game outside of research. I have to put that caveat in there. The South have been monsters getting their labs down and getting their research in. Obviously now they're going for bots as well, so they are ahead. They are ahead in technology-wise, terms. And they do have people building purple, and that purple is being sent. However, the North are not a million miles behind that, and they have a buffer of almost minus 20k threat. With on top of that, a defensive setup here that are building them poison capsules that will last until the end of the game. Right, you need poison capsules to basically to win the game, and there we go, 50%. A large send comes from Qcrat, and the bugs evolve. Blue shell bugs will begin to appear. The small bugs will die out, and these waves. Look at that huge wave spawn just there. What a great time to spectate that one part of the map. And Kishito goes down instantly. Instant death from Kishito, and the wall now is under threat. It's not that thick, and yes, we have some flamers, and yes, the flamers will kill the bugs off. But look at this big bug. Just one guy just chewing through the walls. Damn. Yeah, this is anemic. These walls are anemic. And look, there are some holes here as well. This is very uncomfortable. The timing of that send was massive, right? Because yes, the flamers will kill some of these bugs, but some of them are strong enough to survive, and the ones that survive will come through and kill you. So now there are bugs on the inside, there are bugs on the outside. They're making more holes, they're widening the holes that exist. And these flamers can only hit a certain amount of bugs, right? They can't be everywhere. This is really dangerous from the South. They're in 4,000 positive threat now. They have now taken the lead in terms of their threat evolution. Now, obviously the south aren't far behind, but look at this. The waves now are building up to be blue. They're now purple, majoritively speaking, but the blue guys are here. And the damage these guys do, the speed at which they run at you, it's hard to chunk through the healing of these guys, right? And again, it's only 53%, right? But they just sent 200 purple, if I'm being correct here. 1 second. Mutagen. 261 from Qcrat. And Carl's chucking... Where's Carl, by the way? Hang on a minute. Where's Carl? Look at this mad... I haven't even been here. I haven't even been over here. Look at this. Hey, Carl. Do you want to win a grand finals game? Okay. I'm not doing that again. I don't want to make it seem like I'm singling anybody out. I just think that I've got a very good Carl impression in me, right? And it's not used to deride or to poke fun at. Carl just has a very specific way of being very efficient with his speech, and his base obviously has reflected that, because these absolute madmen, these mad lads, these mad people, I was wondering where the counterpunch was coming, whether this was the only purple that we'd see. This was the only purple that we'd see, but it's not. They have two very strong bases, very large bases, cranking out purple now. I'm very worried about the south. Very, very worried about the south. My question here is, who else is doing that for them, right? Who's got second? So we have one purple producer on the south. Do they have a second? And if they don't, will it come in? Okay, we have some endgame buildings here now. I don't think they've gone for any robots on north, by the way. I don't think we have any robotics, any roboports. This is all just... Oh, damn, Cheesecake goes down. This front line is going to get hammered. This front line is going to get absolutely blasted. Now, again, getting a wall this thick down will keep you safe. But what we're negating and what we're forgetting is that these bugs can make it round. And you cannot have a wall that goes forever, right? Carl, with almost 300 purple jugs now, sends over to the south. Go, here you go, mate, deal with that. The bugs jump to 63%. There is 6,800 threat on the board at the moment as we stand, as I speak, as I run out of breath. The south are in for a world of pain. And they have the relevant prerequisite things to keep them safe. But I want to say, I pointed this out the moment I saw it go down. This is a large power block that is powering your base. And at the moment, there is no wall to the left-hand side of that. It's a purple versus purple slug match. They're slugging it out like boxers, just not defending, pure attack. But this, I am worried about this. Because if this power block goes down, the South lose a ton of power. There is no other block there's no other block comparable, really. You know, this potentially is the only other source of power. If this goes down, it's game. Like, it has to be game. And if that's the case, why wouldn't you focus more energy on defending this area than this, right? Like, what's happening over here that's more important? And again, I'm being hypercritical here because it's a final, right? That's only because it's a final. I'm not throwing shade at individuals. I'm just asking a simple question. You know, there's an area of the map that is highly important for your team. That's not a circle. This is a circle. Right here. It's really important. So, like, I wouldn't prioritize defending a dead open space. Like, get that walled up. Get that sorted out, because yeah, dude, the bugs will come. They will. And we've seen it happen time and time again for these games. This is tense, dude. Yeah, rare skill issue. Yeah, oh god. We need to keep an eye out for attacks. They are in the positive. Damn. Here it is. Now, do these guys have anything at all that can defend these bugs? We spoke about this at the very beginning of the game. I don't want to say I told you so, but we spoke about this at the beginning of the game as I stumble over my words because there's a lot going on. Those builders who do not keep defensive items on them will lose the things that they build. And again, these guys are very strong players. Of course, it's a grand final. Of course, they have what they need. But there'll be some builders in the game down the line that won't have the right defensive answers to this level of aggression. So it's manageable. They're going to deal with this. These are very strong players. There's no way they get caught off guard. But yeah, dude, that's not what you want to see. That's a lot of destruction for one wave. That's just a single wave coming in. It won't impact them down the line for now, because obviously they can rebuild stuff, but I don't, you know, imagine if that wave had crashed into this, right? You know what I mean? Like, they'd have gone through this, like a hot knife through butter, just sawn through all of this power, probably gotten to about here before anybody noticed. So I'm really glad that now people are taking this area of the map kind of a bit more seriously, because you need to. Like, that's vital. This is like the beating heart of your organization. It's fine having a brain this big, you know, and again, bear with me on this because I know it's quite vague terms to talk about. If this is the beating brain of your game, you know, the thing that will think you through the game and get you to the deeper text, this is the beating heart. And if you don't protect your heart, yeah, dude, I worry. Again, they're lucky, the South. They didn't lose a lot and they can replace what they did lose. All you lose is your time spent. But yeah, 66% on the South, 47% on the North. Let's take a look at what's being made, right? Beating brain. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm under pressure. I don't want to miss stuff. That's the problem. Is the working brain. There we go. The working brain. Beating brain probably works because it does have a pulse, I think. Yeah, no, brains have pulses. At least mine does. Weird flex, but okay. Let's take a look at production. And oh, that's a telling tale, isn't it? The North. Look at this. The North made purple second by about 6 minutes. But they've built less. The North have produced almost 1,300 purple. And they've sold close to 1,000. Meanwhile, the South have built early first. Have only built 400. And they sent 300. So there's some kind of throughput issues here, right? No, that's purple, dude. Firstly, F in chat for that, but we might need another F in chat for the base. Oh, damn, look at where they came from, too. They came from underneath them. Oh, that is painful. What is this? Lads, get on this now. You can defend this. You can beat this. You can win from this position, but Jesus, what a terrible position to be in. And bosses are spawning in on South as well. They're dealing with 70% bugs now. The lasers are firing off. But what a painful thing to happen to. They didn't lose a box of purple though, right? No, okay, you're right. The purple box is safe. They are barely making purple as well. Like, this needs to really kick in. And that bug, by the way, guys, that bug wave did not come. There's another one. A second wave crashes into the purple base. A second wave? That's, oh my God. Devastating. Jimmy's going for it. Yeah, definitely, dude. But it's like, will they get there? Another death. And it's an outposter. He has to run all the way back here. Oh my God, right. Just for anybody, we missed that a little bit. So let me just clue you back in on what happened just now. We had waves coming from here. Behind the base. Like a pincer movement almost. So what must have happened is the bugs must have pathed underneath this lake and then just bounced back. That's a horrible angle. That is a nightmare angle to get attacked from. Nobody expects that. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. That's terrifying. 70% on the South. Yeah, mate. And if that can happen out there, that can happen like down here. You know, they start smashing areas like this. I'm not entirely sure what this guy's up to, but good luck, Godspeed. You know, areas like this, very vulnerable. And you can see now, yeah, they've had to kill a wave off here. So yeah, I think Jimmy is looking to build his end game, but like, are they going to get there? Surely behemoths come first. And now, like, they're dealing with almost double the evolutionary state that the North are. And it's great to have all of these production buildings down, but like, can you feed it? Can you switch it on? Dude, this is carnage, mate. This is carnage. I need to make sure I keep an eye out for this. In fact, let me do something real quick. I'm going to preload that command, so if the outpost gets attacked, I can just quickly do this. And then head out to the outpost. Hey, Full Frontal, nice to have you with us, mate. Welcome to the grand final. This is actually really good. It's a lot more tense than I thought it would be. A lot more intense. It's under attack again. They've been hit from almost every angle. This is wild. Anybody that doesn't know, these health bars means these are bosses. So, you know, you have your bog standard bugs that are killing everything anyway, like these guys. And then you're dealing with bosses on top of that. I don't even know. Like, you just have to cover yourself in lasers. Get laser pods out here, get laser pods out here. And just, yeah. Try and meet the waves. Like, you can't let them come to you. You have to meet them, right? So just get there. Get there first. Get there early. Oh, you're welcome, mate. You're welcome. And welcome in. You know, welcome in, everyone. We are midway through a solid game. Another death. Damn. F in chat, guys. I feel like all we've been doing is pressing F in chat for like the last 10, 15 minutes. But yeah, a lot of people are going down. So we've got to pay respect. We've got to pay our respects. Also, guys, my alerts are absolutely cooked at the moment. So if anybody is currently following, I'll give you a shout out at the end of the stream. I apologize for missing any follows or even any subscriptions. I apologize. I've had to rebuild my stream this week. It blew up. And I think we just learnt a lot about you from that sentence, Seasick. Maybe a little too much, but never mind. It's Easter Sunday after all, you know. You have to enjoy what you enjoy, you know. No judgment here, no judgment. North's threat is... No, dude, they went from like minus 15k to minus 35. And it's this poison capsule play, like, because we're only dealing with mediums and smalls, like, these guys are just melting to this. 2 or 3 capsules down, and you can farm massive waves. Huge waves. Look at that. No problem at all. And what you're not seeing up north, that you're seeing a lot of down south, are these big blue guys. Yeah, I know, dude. I'd push them to 50, 100%. Like, give them blue bugs. Make them feel the pain, you know? But then again, I think the south are kind of belligerently trying to move themselves into an area where they can go for rockets. And I'm just not too sure how long they can survive like that. I just don't know. Or maybe they're going yellow? Hard to say, really. But like, if you look at the north, they've built 1,700 and sent 1,200. Whereas the south have only built 600 and sent 300. So they've built 600 and sent half of it. The north have built 17 and sent most of it. So they're reserving about 500 probably for another big send. Meanwhile, on the north, a wall is going down. The lasers are being put down too. They're not massively upgraded, but they've got the time and the space to upgrade them. And let me double check real quick on Discord. Normally somebody messages me or has a question, or give me a second, guys. Sorry if it's just a little laggy on stream. I just want to check this. No questions. Perfect. All right, we carry on. Okay, defenders, finally. Dude, a little bit too late, I would argue. But it's fine. It doesn't matter. Like, they're here now, and that is the most important part of this. Defenders are down. Blue bugs are everywhere. These brown shell bugs eventually will go the way of the dinosaur, leaving... Oh, damn. Almost 300 purple goes across. Only a 3.7% jump, but we're closing in. Damn, dude. Whoa, hang on a minute. That was the outpost. Just outside the outpost. Another death. I've lost track. We're almost up to double digits. Another... Zero Sun goes down? Okay, yeah, no, he did that to himself, though, so... Like, double F. FF. I tell you what, rather than doing one for each, we'll do a few. If people go down all at once, we'll just type out a few. Otherwise, your F key is going to get worn out, guys. Yeah. Damn. Literally. We'll preload a couple of Fs for future deaths as well. What I need a tombstone emoji. That's what I need. That's what I'm going to work on. I need some Factorio related emojis that we'll make. Actually, it's a good point. You don't see them go down often, do you? Rarely has a Zero Sun gone down, unless it's like a car malfunction, right? So you've hit a rock, basically, and then your car just melts and then you melt. But, Yeah, dude. So, okay, question for the audience, question for everybody that's watching, question for everyone that's listening. We are currently watching the south not send back to the north. So they've got purple coming in, and purple's being built over here, but we're seeing these huge mixed builds coming in as well. Now, my question to you is, are we going to see yellow signs being built and sent? Or are we now bypassing completely purple? Here we go, look, yeah, they've been smashed a bit here. So bypassing purple completely, and are we now moving to yellow beyond? So like yellow space? And if that's the case, we are not far away from like behemoths going on the board for the south. They're not going to get into the negative in terms of threat farming, and they're dealing with large blue waves. Now again, the wall is big and strong, they have a ton of flamers, they'll survive this. My worry is that they're going to just about get to space signs as their base is crumbling around them. An ominous prediction, I know, but it's something that we've seen happen before. A team positions themselves to be in a really strong place, to be able to win the game and build the game-winning item, but then crumble around them because their defense is just, oh damn. Guys, it happened. It couldn't be more of a side swipe if it tried. You could not swipe aside any harder than this. We'll follow it in. Who needs oil? Who needs power? Like, this pointless. Although they smashed this up pretty badly, not gonna lie. That is a nightmare. And again, I want to say this just a caveat because it sounded like I was being a bit belligerent at the beginning of the stream. The defenders that build, that don't have defensive items on them, will die. We spoke about this at the very beginning of the game. If Trilleben doesn't have healing items, he will go down, and now his base is dead if they decide to stay here and kill this base. Right, this work and this energy, oh, they're so close to labs. No! Dude, if you lose labs now, that's it. And they prod modded, and they've got purple in. Make it here now. Who's running here? Get here. Get here yesterday. Get them away from your labs. Throw yourself in their way. Perfect. There's a reason why he's a captain in the grand final, guys, and it's because of this. If a single lab goes down with science in it and production modules in it, it's a massive loss. That is a huge catch from Captain Califer. The first person to make it is the captain of the game. Now again, I mean, it speaks volumes as to, like, you know, how they made it here and maybe needing to seal the base up. That's a wider conversation that you need to have. But holy crap, that was a hell of a save. Not even joking. That is huge. If you'd have lost anything there at all, that's not GG, but that sets you back a couple of minutes because they are not producing purple very fast at the moment. In fact, I want to kind of go on a bit of a longer stretch and say that they're barely producing purple at all. Yeah, very good point. I will check full frontal. Give me a second. I believe this base has the potential to expand into that space. Whether they do or not is one thing. Of course, yeah, they do. We potentially could be looking at a rocket outpost. But at the bare minimum, we have the beginnings of what looks to be a yellow build. As I say that, let me just bring something up real quick. Okay, perfect. Sorry, I've just got to bring something up real quick. Okay, that makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, okay, fine. Sorry, just some stream stuff. So yellow and south, potentially yes, we have these mixed builds coming in, and they went straight for robots too, so they have the ability to kind of copy and paste, like print stuff down. So that I love. But they are not even, I mean, look at this, 47% is what the north have been sat on for a while. Like, dude, 3%, throw some stuff, force them to deal with bugs. Neuro wants to build a nuke. Oh, damn. Nightmare. I'm guys, I kid you not. Look how close it is. Look at where we are. We are inches away from your coal, not only your coal production, but like your power. That is frightening. Absolutely frightening. I would be bricking myself at the moment. I would be demanding lasers right now. Come here. Literally, boys, bring me lasers now. I need it. I need them here right now. And literally slap a box of them down and protect yourself, because this is a boss. And he's bossing it at the moment. He's in charge. This big bog is completely in charge right now. And mate, why don't they send? Why don't they send for an extra 3% increase? You're forcing the South to deal with slightly more advanced bugs, right? Maybe not this quantity, but certainly this level, this quality. Gosh, yeah. I don't want to... Cool, yeah, so, you know, some people probably aren't aware that they're in a very high stress, high level environment. That's fine. But for those of you that do, this is bugging. Thinking heart, beating brain. Yeah, dude, I am nervous for this. I know. Again, everybody has their, what I would say is everybody has their rhyme and reason. And when we make grand finals, which I obviously will when I do enter the next tournament that's down, when I make grand finals, we're pushing our team, enemy team, like way off the map. We're shoving them off the map with pressure. But for now, I guess they just don't want to. So who am I to question it? We have two of the best players in the server leading the game, so you know we're not gonna double guess, second guess. But if it was me, and it's not, I would try and just get the North a little bit more uncomfortable than they currently are. That being said, let's check in on some of the outposts. Right, let's check in on this one. Okay, so we've got some laser production here, battery production, blue chips, red chips. It's just a all things to all people. Have a readable color. Is that a rule? I didn't even know that was a rule. Makes sense though, right? I mean, if you can't read what somebody's typing, what's the point in even typing it in the first place? Damn. Well, you can build a BP. So once you're in the game, once you land in the game, you can build BPs up, but you cannot bring a blueprint in from an outside source. So what you'll see at the beginning of the game is a lot of people slap down their burner cities. So obviously all of their, you know, stone furnaces and their miners, and they'll move off to the side in an open area like this, and they'll basically blueprint. Well, lads, we've seen everything. Yep. Damn. Hammer belts, boys. It's here. Get ready for it. Now, again, it's obviously protecting the most important part of the game, which is this radar right now. Okay? We can't... Radar's dying is an instant loss. We can lose this silo as long as this absolute mad lad keeps this radar alive. I know what he's trying to do here, but at 75% bugs, they will run this into the ground as fast as you can think. Like, it's wild. You know, they are not... You're not safe. The illusion of safety is there, but you are not safe there at all. So be very, very careful. Okay, positive 4,600 on the south, 75% evolved. Like 47 on the north, minus 50. They are driving that number into the negative. Only a few minutes ago, it was like minus 30,000. Yeah, this is wild. I'm giving the advantage to the north, dude. And I think all they're doing at the moment is just kind of getting ready for yellow. Power, how are we looking? Power's looking good. I think Nura's looking to do nuclear. Let's check in on research real quick as well. That'll tell us. Yeah, North going for nuclear power, energy weapons, 4 for the South. So South looking good on their research. They kind of need it though, right? They have to defend a bit more. It's a fair point, RJD. I think that maybe he doesn't realise this is a grand final. I don't want to make excuses for players, but I think if I check this guy's stats real quick, let me just have a look onto our little website. I'm going to try and argue the fact this guy's got like... Damn, dude. He's got a really low win rate. 19 wins and 35 losses. He's ranked 34,000. Just think about that for a second. We have had more than 35,000 people play the game, but his rank is 34,000. Compare that to my rank of number 1, and there's about 33,999 places difference. And so yeah, you could argue that him being here is not adding any value. But he's also not doing any harm. He's like, what's the word I'm looking for? He's harmless, he's toothless. If all of a sudden he took a load of bots and started like making his own bot network out here, yeah, 100%. Or if he didn't build power. So for instance, if he just stole power from main base, I'd say yeah, do it. At the moment, he's not. Yeah, I know, do you know what I mean? It's a bit of a nothing. He nullifies himself. That's the best way to probably put this. He's nullifying himself by having 0 impact on the game, but also he's having 0 negative impact too. So it's an interesting one. I would kick that player and say, go and join a stream and go and ask questions about the game. It doesn't have to be my stream, by the way. Every time I say that, I don't mean send more people my way, but like there are people playing the game at the moment, and people do stream the weekly games that would be happy to answer questions about, you know, why they build this big or why they're building like this, or do you know what I mean? Like the community at whole, at large, is very, very welcoming and very kind to new players. So, and maybe it's a dummy base. Maybe it is. Maybe this is the game-winning play. If this becomes a game-winning play, I'm going to blueprint this into every game I play. I shit you not. If the South get to 90% bugs and this saves main base, I think in honor of this player, we need to build a base like this in every single game we're in. Literally to the exact blueprint. In fact, take a screenshot, guys. We could be looking at the next... This could be 5D chess. This could actually be 5D chess. Instead of the bugs flooding in across the map towards the silo, they hit this. And this is a speed bump. Or it's nothing. It's probably nothing. But I want to build a bit of a narrative here, you know. We'll have a bit of fun. Meanwhile, the mixed build stacks are coming in. Obviously, ore is pumping through them. With that, we're having ore into plates being smelted, plates then being built into mediocre items being built into advanced items, and those advanced items being spat out at the other end and sent into a box. From here, I'm not entirely sure where we're going to go. I'm not entirely sure what the play is for the South. Jimmy's fast. Don't get me wrong, Jimmy is quick. But can he outpace 90%? You could push it right into the silo, right? Do you know what I mean? Just feed this. And that's probably the way they're going to go about this, right? Are we jammed up? We're jammed up a little bit here. But it's all logic to death, right? So they've got everything they need. Oh no, dude, there are more. Expect more turrets. 10? Psh, rookie numbers. Those are rookie numbers. I've got to pump those numbers up. Oh, damn. Don't touch. Whoa, hang on a minute. You guys seeing this? Well, you guys seeing this? Maris goes down. There's 2.5. You guys seeing this 2.5k red chips? What does it say to you guys? To me, it's screaming something nuclear, right? How good is that? Actually nuke. Like, I don't know. I mean, that's what they've made out, or eventually they'll make out of this area. Some kind of a nuclear build. Now, where are my spicy green rocks at? Out here? Oh, it's got to be LDS, right? You could hand feed LDS with that much copper. Not ideal, but like you can if you wanted to. These mixed builds. I'm just wondering, like, where do we go from here? Like, what is the purpose of this? They're relatively well defended, but not particularly. There's a train. What are we? Why is that there? Lads, what are we doing? What a waste of steel. Why are we doing this? And why hasn't the captain jumped on top of this like a trampoline? Is Jumpkin some high-level player I've never heard of before? No. 4 wins and 1 loss. He's a legend. So the reason why you don't build train stations or train rail networks around your defenses is because that's where your defenses go. This is where your lasers should sit, not where your... Oh yeah, take a radar out. That's a good idea. Oh mate, this is potentially grief. If you want to get there quick, get in a car. Hold a car in your inventory. Like if you don't need this. This is overkill and also a waste of time. Now again, I don't want to point people out and laugh, and I wouldn't advocate for anybody to do that. But if you were to point at anybody in this game and laugh, I mean, we've seen a little bit of everything, right? We've seen red belts in Maine. There was some guy on South that was trying to red belt Maine. Here we go. This guy, absolute mad lad. He's gone now. We've seen this guy, absolute legend. That wall is going nowhere. That wall is like the barrier of life, you know. This guy's locked it down. This tiny little patch here is feeding everything you could possibly want. Oh my god, my days. Slow and steady. Yeah, you're right, dude. Slow and steady. And where's the train going to go, by the way, right? Where's its end point? Well, where are you going once you hit here? Are you going to pull up power so you can put a train through? Okay, north. Carl. Our purple will die now because I need production for mixer. Clutch. Throw then. All throw. The north room for a big throw. Yeah, this is a trial run, dude. Absolute trial run, you know? The real game, the real grand final, it was the big phase along the way. He better fucking not, mate. Serious, like, there's levels to having fun in the game and, like, griefing a Grandmaster's game. A grand final, sorry. Carl with a 300 send. 79% now. They're asking Q-Crat to throw too. Where is Q-Crat? Q-Crat should be over here, right? Or is, no, Q-Crat's on this side base here. Almost 1,000. Damn, that's a lot. Okay, that's a lot. We're at Behemoths. And Pipe's coming in with the 600 yellow? What? What? How did I miss this? Oh, good night, South. You are in for a world of pain. Oh, damn. Out of this tiny, tiny build. Let's take a look at this. Oh my god. They built their first yellow jug at 129. That's 10 minutes of building yellow, and they built 723. 10 minutes. Are we paused? No, things are on. Things are working. Yeah, here we go. The big green guys. That yellow was horrible. Let's take a look. Let's dig into the numbers a little bit here. The yellow jumped the evolution by 5.5 points. That is wild, mate. And I think the South are going for a rocket. So you're now dealing with behemoths. Positive threat of 24,000. And we spoke about this before, right? But like, some of this isn't really heavily defended, and you've kind of got a railway network behind your defenses that doesn't really help you, and the edge of your base. I mean, this guy placing this railway network down here could have probably just built some walls, right? You know, could have just built some walls. That'd be nice. Be really, really cool of you if you know, walled up this area, but that's fine. That's okay. You know, we're not throwing shade. We're not throwing hate. We're just suggesting improvements. Their lasers are relatively well upgraded. However, their lasers do not exist all over the shop. It worries me that there's no aggression now. Like, is there a reason why the bugs are paused? Am I having a stroke? Everything seems to be frozen on the South right now. We listen and we don't judge. Yes. We listen and we don't judge. This is weird. You guys seeing this? Like, literally nothing's moving. It's not just my eye. Here we go, right. So yeah, behemoths are on the cards. 94.5% strength. They will chew. This wall will be okay. This wall will be relatively well defended. However, let's take a look at what 3 bosses do. Only one of which is a behemoth. Hopefully the game speed gets kind of tailored to the game. So my hope is that we do go down a little bit in game speed to maintain the FPS UPS. Naturally, in a game like this, the more behemoths that spawn in, and obviously we're going to end up with millions and millions of threat, we're going to end up at like 0.6, but that's fine. You know, this guy is still... Oh no, look at that wave. Oh. Again, like, they're well defended in areas, but Jesus, this is not going to be an easy defense. And the bugs will come all the way across the wall. So yeah, flamers are fine, like they'll do some damage, but you're not really going to scratch. Oh no. You're not going to scratch the sides, they're just chewing their way through into the base. The walls are going to die out, the bugs are going to break in. Some of them are even just half health, having tanked a load of flamers, and yeah, it's not going to take long for them to rip through some of the defenses. The first wall, a breach has happened now on the South. Meanwhile, the larger wall is getting aggressed onto, but yeah, they've lost the bits of it. But my kind of worry here is that they're going to start getting hammered in the same spot. You know, we've seen this time and time again, right? And again, I know you guys, you know, I know you love your MS Paint, but all it takes is for the bugs to just come in once like this. Oh, terrible color. Let's not use white. To come in like this and then just make the hole wider, right? For the next wave to get even deeper and even deeper. So you just got to be careful, like you need to replace the bits that they're attacking into first. Don't worry too heavily about like other areas. If this is where they're going, you need to get there first. Mate, if they take that power, I'm slightly sorely tempted to say GG. You know, it's madness, it's that close. Could you have built the power down here? I know that they want to build mixers, but like, you know, power is so much more important. They're going to widen it out. They're going to burrow through. And beyond that, by the way, guys, we're going to see behemoths start aggressing onto here. So, you know, they're doing well being pushed back by the walls on South. And they're chewing through, like this boss, right? 0 fucks given. He's just having it his way. He's in charge. It's his wall, really. You're just looking after it. And again, there's just flamers in the way. There's nothing else. There's nothing else here. There's another wave crashes into the hole that was made before. And some lasers in some of the defensive areas are fine. And again, these are strong enough, like his power holding out, it should. Okay, that's a blueprinted pole. Power is holding out, but this boss has just hammered his way through. Cheesecake goes down to Behemoth. I've lost count of the amount of deaths on the South. We're going to see a ton more. Hold off on pressing F to pay respects, guys. Let's just wait until there are lots of deaths and then we can do one big cumulative F because, yeah, they're in for a world of pain right now. Part of their base is walled up and part of it isn't. part of their power is defended and part of it isn't. Part of South Base is incredibly well played and well managed, and part of it, unfortunately, isn't. And again, the North have some issues too. If the North were to deal with positive threat, by the way, at 90+%, they would have a problem. But it is bizarre. It is bizarre. They have not pushed the North in any way, shape or form like the North have pushed the South. And a behemoth wave just walks in. They just walk in. Guys, I memed earlier on, but this base actually might absorb some pressure here. This may actually have some defensive stature to it. We might see the behemoths rip through standard conventional defenses to bump into this chaos monster of a base. And this might help for like 5 seconds. This will be about as effective as fighting a volcano with a popsicle. You know, I tried my best, but it melted instantly. And they progress. They're still moving towards endgame items, building for a rocket, I guess. There are lasers in a chest here, though. They do have some defensive, they have some ability to defend themselves, but leaving a side of a base open again here, Timinator right next to himself, building up iron. We have a huge... A behemoth wave walks into a base. Oh, we could make that a joke. And by the way, guys, when the game ends, and I'm not saying the game is going to end, but when the game does end, stick around. I've got some victory music to play. One of our communities has AI generated a song for each winning captain, and I'm going to play that song for us to listen to. So yeah, get ready for that. That's going to be fun, I hope. Well, I thought they were good, you know, all things considered. And yeah, it's these edges around here. I'm just slightly worried about those edges. Okay, Timinator, obviously a veteran player, very strong player. He's got poison capsules on him, a couple of lasers to defend himself. You wouldn't expect anything else. 98.6% evolution. We're closing in on that 100% mark. It's looking rough for the South. I don't know where they go from here. I'm not entirely sure, like... What are we doing? Oh. I know, yeah. If he starts making stations, mate, I'd get rid of him. If I see any rail signals at all, it's game. Back to the island. Back to the island with you. Alright, we're going to change the music up a little bit. We've had a bit of drum bass on now. Do we have any... Guys, suggest me some music genres that you think would work well in a grand final. Let's make the VOD of this our own. I was going to go for like house. Heavy metal. Ooh, heavy metal's a good shout. Oh, how about punk, mate? Do you know what? Punk is one of the only... I don't think I've put any punk in any of my... I'll do metal as well, by the way. This might be terrible, by the way, and if it is, we'll change it. Nothing like public transport, funeral doom metal. I might have to look at funeral music. Oh, I cottoned onto that because it's like the death of the base. It's like the death of the game. Guys, we're going to do it. We're going to go for funeral music. Oh, is that harsh? Is that based? Oh no, funeral music. Oh, the train store. Dude, if they have a train store, I'm in. 100% it is. And the bugs are in. And they're monstering the defenses. There's not much here. Not enough, really, to repel them. A couple of flame turrets will not do that much. And the behemoths just chew through. A couple of poison capsules go down, but the bugs are in here from the south. They've managed to breach a very thin wall. And my kind of concern is this area. I'm wondering if anything's made it through. But the bugs are in, and they're nasty. And they will stop trains, by the way. If a train comes past this way, absolutely, Behemoth 1, train 0. Train -1, because there won't be a train for much longer. Yeah. Trains. Is that a thing? Ah, well, caps lock, my bad. But you know what I'm trying to say. It used to be a train, now it's trained. Damn. And the North are just, they're living the life of luxury, dude. Minus 78,000. They're still not at 50%. Like, they are just living the life of luxury. The South are in so much pain. They're in so much trouble. There's one side of their base that hasn't even been defended. You know, we're looking at an area here that just, you could just walk in. Just walk right in. And as you walk in, you're walking past, like, the power. I'm still worried about coming in from the east as well. Like, that's an issue, but this western side. Firstly, if they come onto the outpost, they kill off any chance you have for late game. And if they make it round the side, Jesus, dude, like, I'm super worried about that. Dark Souls music. I like the idea of funeral music. But it might be slow though, dude. I might try out some funeral music just before the end of the game to see if it's any good. What are we doing? We have a red builder? Kashito, thanks. We found the red builder, the red enjoyer, by the way, guys. Any rocket parts? Very good question. We are chesting rocket parts. It's rocket fuel, I believe, that we're missing, right? Rocket fuel. It's going to be LDS, blue chips, and then we need satellite production as well. So I mean, we're kind of far away. A healthy 350 for LDS and 270 for blue, and in like, you know, 10 to 20 on either. It's not great though. You know what I mean? It's not like super comfortable. And again, rocket fuel needs to happen, and they need to build a satellite. So like, are we really going there? You know what I mean? Are we really going to space? They're going there. Electric energy, modular armor, power armor, portable solar, and exoskeleton. 10k white science. Yeah, I'll just drop a chest off with 10k in. Ah, mate, what a nightmare. What a nightmare for the South. What can I do real quick? Let me, I'm just going to use the bathroom real quick, guys. Let me just zoom in on one of the, I'm just going to quickly use the bathroom. I'll be back in a sec, guys. Just need to go for a slash. Alright, I am back. Right, cheesecakes went down, damn. North had Zero Sun and Red Ray for strat farmers. South tried Purple Rush, but it was delayed by 5-7 minutes. Transition Rocket instead. North was too strong defensively already. Yeah, dude. Honestly, very, very valid points. Could it be the Twitch stream screen cap? I don't know what that means. Right, so are they stabilizing? Have they stabilized? Or are they still under enormous pressure on the south? The wall is in many areas anemic, defended only by a few flamers. Yeah, 100%. In this current iteration of the game, this meta, if you want to call it that, or in air quotes, in bunny air quotes, like era, you need at least 2 of you farming, whilst one person at a bare minimum builds up the base. So threat farming, it kind of has a couple of different stages to it. Number 1 is obviously go out there and shoot the bugs, right? Come out here, shoot the bugs. Yeah, I'm good. Like, it will drop for me too, but that's just natural. Like, everybody will eventually end up with a lower FPS UPS. That normally comes plus 100% though. So when it gets to like 150 plus, then we'll see some real need to drop it to like 0.7. But yeah, so you send somebody out there, you shoot the bugs, fight the bugs. Later, you need somebody else to build up the kind of the powerhouse behind you. So it'll be, you know, your defender capsules, your poison capsules, your slow capsules. Someone needs to work on this. And so it's great being on the front line shooting stuff, but at the same time too, look at this. The North are having none of it, mate. In fact, are the North transitioning to, it wouldn't surprise, fucking Carl, mate. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Yeah, I'll check in on matey boy with the ammo belt. Oh, he's fully walled up. He's more protected than his own base. His walls are thicker than his actual main base walls. Like, look at this. This is South's main base wall. And this is this madman. Double. Yeah, I was wondering what Carl was doing there for a second, and then I look over and I'm like, of course he's doing this. Of course Carl is making this play. It would be rude not to. Of course we're about to build a rocket. The radar is pride. It was his grandfather's radar. Passed down for him after the Great War, the Great Factoria War. And he vowed to keep it safe. Beyond everything else, beyond his own safety. Prod 3 is not yet. Now, here's my worry. Do they need to do this? Like, I know it sounds a bit obvious, but like, do the North need to send rockets? Or could they not just make yellow and purple and spam that till the end of the game? I know that purple has like, there's going to be a time where it becomes less relevant, and that time is coming up. But like, if you can get them to 120, 130% on yellow and purple, whilst in the background building your rocket up, right? Because it's going to take some time. I never thought we'd see rockets in this particular game because of the fact that purple's so strong. When you get there early and you spam it, and obviously the enemy deal with this level of bugs, it's kind of like, it's you have no breathing room, right? You just have to deal with it until you die. So like, by you, here's my logic here. By you going to a rocket, you're allowing the South to also go to a rocket as well. And that's where this becomes dangerous, right? They are ahead in silo research. But again, you have a buffer of minus 90,000. So like, that's a couple of rockets being sent just to dent your buffer. In fact, probably like 5 to 10 rockets to dent the buffer. Meanwhile, if I'm in the North, I send 2 rockets to space. I send 2,000 white signs across. Oh, we're going to see a stall. Is the grand final going to have stalling in it? No, surely not. There's no way. We haven't seen... What have we seen so far? Okay, Anura's nuke builds up. Stalling is when somebody meets a win condition for the game. Ideally, or most notably, it's for holding white signs. And they build more rockets. So let's say, for instance, I'm on the North. I built 10 rockets. 10 rockets kills the main base, 100%. You know, 10 rockets destroys the South. And instead of sending and ending the game, I stall the game to build 10 more rockets because I can. And that 10 rockets takes me an hour. And meanwhile, the South would always die anyway. You know what I mean? Like, it gets to a point where you've got checkmate in one. You need to play that one move. Not mess around all the other pieces and convert all the other pieces to a queen and have some really fancy checkmates. Sometimes you've just got to go and play the winning hand. And we've seen in previous games, not necessarily grand finals, but previous games, where a 5 rocket send was a win and people went and saved for 20. And so that extended a game that could have ended at the 3-hour mark to like a 5-hour game. And it was always going to go one way. The other team was so far behind, there was no way they could build a rocket. They were just miles away from it. And it's really cool sending 20 rockets, but 5 would have done it. And that's not just a speculative, oh yeah, you know, build, like, it was guaranteed win. Like, they had no walls, they had no defenses. You just needed to push their Evo up to like 130, 140%. It was game. And yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm here for it. This is a grand final. This will be, regardless of outcome, this has already been a good game and will continue to be a good game. But, you know, how many rockets does this area of the map take to destroy, right? You know, answer me that. A single rocket, 1,000 white signs pumping itself into the current Evo and the current threat, annihilates this area, annihilates it. 90% of this defense is already going to crumble to any behemoths that come here. So, do you need double digits? No. Yeah, sorry, double digit rockets? You don't. You really don't. At most, 2 to 3. It looks like it. I mean, it's a one-man job. This person has been tasked with doing this, and at this point in the game, I'd grab 2 or 3 people to help with this. Because certainly, like, it's not a fun thing to do. You have a huge amount of work ahead of you, multiple layers of this too, and it's a thankless task. Beyond that too, this guy needs to stick down some defenses, so I'd bring a friend to this. Because it can be demoralizing pulling in this amount of resources just for you. Although it looks like he might have run out, so maybe he's heading back to reload, but... yeah. He is. He's going to be driving back. It's a marathon drive. All the way back to his wall builder, all the way back to main. I believe that they've gotten to a minus 100k and just kind of sat back a bit. Now, I'm not exactly sure what they're up to right now. I'm not entirely sure what Red Wraith is doing. Or maybe they're just reloading again. Because you've got to think, like, they're well defended here. The upgrades are quite nice. They're coming quite well. They're not at risk of being attacked anytime soon. So I imagine people just keep doing this, right? There's just no reason to stop. If nothing is stopping you, then there is no reason to stop doing it. And smelting steel for rock, damn. So yeah. In terms of Tales of the Outpost, again, another potential rocket outpost here. Damn, dude, that's actually a really healthy amount. 4-Decker's outpost is strong. With a corpse of a big biter right next to it is a chest with 1,000 LDS and 1,000 blue chips. Next to that, 1,000 LDS and almost 1,000 blue chips. Next to that, 400 LDS and 370 blue. This is where a rocket could potentially come from. So maybe the South are going for a double rocket strat. So potentially they're going for like a rocket on, like here, for instance, in main, and one out here. And the North potentially are going to go for a single rocket strat, but they'll get there first and send more of them. But then, I don't know, like, I'm not entirely sure. Like, if you're against a double rocket setup, then you will eventually lose to their strength. I mean, this is no joke. Like, the level of resources and late game items in these chests will guarantee you, if you can get it up and running again, it's a big if, the multiple rocket building, you know, you're not looking at like 1 or 2, you're looking at 5 or 10, with the ability to produce even more as we go. It's just, do the South even get there in time? Damn, why is my fucking screen flickering? What the hell? Alright, I'm going to have to move through my keyboard. I can't grab the map because it just seems to be like bugging out, so I'm sorry about that, guys. You're going to have to deal with me doing this. Because this is, do you see that? Or is that just a me thing? No, it's actually happening. Okay, right. Noted. I will have to move around WASD for a bit. So if South win this, it's off the back of stuff like this. You know, converting this, though, is going to be a pain. And, you know, survival is key here now. Survival is very important. You're always dealing with a positive threat, and that on its own can be a problem for you. Okay, we've got some blue builders here. That's then feeding itself back to... Where? Where are these blue chips going? It's one hell of a journey to take them on. Oh, okay, for yellow. Perfect. Oh good, they are still building up and sending. That's nice to see. Like, they're researching with their yellow, but they're also building it up, so... Okay, yeah. There's some... Okay, interesting. So it looks like there's going to be 2 rocket silos on south, bare minimum, and it appears to me like it's going to be a northern silo here, and another silo in main. Oh, sorry, the main silo being used as well. So both teams are opting for the same playstyle. I just believe the north are ahead just by a little bit, right? Their silo research is going to be slow, but it's 17% complete already, which is fine. Like, that's, yeah, that's absolutely fine. You can build up your solar panel production, all that jazz in the meantime, right? You don't have to necessarily sit on your hands at this point. Okay. It seems like both teams are now just content with where they are. It doesn't seem like there's much more aggression coming in. Maybe the goal for the North was to just get the South to 100%. Do you know what I mean? Like, get them to that uncomfortable spot, 10% over the behemoth threshold, and then just play for time to get those rockets up. That could be the way they've angled this. I mean, I'll have to figure this out down the line, but... You know, more mixers go in, that'll speed up their late game item production. Obviously, we're waiting for the silo to finish. There's a good amount of blue here. I wouldn't say healthy, considering the South have a lot more. Assembly 3 is coming in. Okay. Their beacons are down already, which is great, and they need speed 1s in them. That's perfect. This is just an absolute powerhouse at the moment. I mean, let's take a look over here to the... Oh, this could be a 3 rocket. Are they really going to try 3? It's a fair point. It's a fair point. They still need what's the name of it? Sorry, my brain's gone blank there for a second. Damn, okay, this music is not helping me focus at all. So I need to get Punk off, lads. I need to get, like, Punk needs to just chill for a little bit. Okay. How many songs does this playlist have? Okay, everything's lagging for me. No, you know, not a thing. Okay, I guess I'll play this then. Yeah, that's better. A bit more chill. The question is, where do we go from here? I feel like we've peaked, haven't we? There's nothing else really we can do from this position. This is just game, right? It's just a thing of beauty. But if he, I mean, There's ammo going around a belt. Oh, dude, you need to feed these. These need some ammo. I might have to use this as an example of what not to do. Interesting. This happened earlier as well, guys. I don't know why. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Like, they just freeze up. So they're not getting attacked. They're in positive threat though, right? Potentially. No, do you know what? It could be that they're despawning some of the weaker bugs. I remember people talking about that a while ago, saying that there's a way of kind of making sure that some of the weaker bugs leave the map before they run in. So you despawn or load it, but like, is it? I don't want to... I've not seen this before though. They normally have like walking patterns, like they're in a positive threat. That is interesting. Okay, let's north out there. These guys are moving. Yeah, look at this. These guys are moving. So... okay, some of them are shifting. I mean, it doesn't really make much difference, but like they should be getting attacked. I've not seen this before. Like these bugs being frozen does bug me a little bit because this is a grand finals game. You know, if we're seeing any kind of, and again, the bugs are strong enough to be fighting the base, they should be grouping up and fighting the base. I mean, that's why you have a positive threat. So, let's take a look at how this works for now. It could be the despawning thing. It could be. You know, as far as I'm aware, there's a lot of stuff in the background that is, damn. KQ goes down. Small F in chat, because that was like a self-burn. I've poisoned myself to death. Alright, so the bugs are... okay, they seem to have woken up a little bit now. They were frozen a few seconds ago, so it's nice, hopefully, that they've woken themselves up a little bit. And again, if you have a look here, they've dove in to this wall here. They've really chewed into a part of this, so... and again here, some of the edges of this base... little chips, tiny little chips. That is close to the outpost. Yeah, interesting. Do you know what it is? I know what it is. It's kind of obvious. Wait, let me just... if I remember correctly, somebody spoke about this a while ago. Zero Sun takes himself out. Okay, a couple of deaths on the north. It was Neuro's BBTV that was lagging the server a bit. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so here's what's happening, right? So the bugs are frozen, and this isn't normal for the bugs to be frozen. And somebody spoke about this a while ago, and I have seen this happen once before, only once. When something so amazing happens on the server, the bugs basically freeze. It's like, you know, when you show an algorithm, a learning algorithm, something they've never seen before, it kind of like takes a second to process. That's what's currently happening now. They're frozen in fear of what's in front of them, and it's because of this. This architecture, this beacon of hope. The bugs read the map like Neo in the Matrix, with all of the green numbers floating down their screen, and then this, Agent Smith, appeared. Something that would undo them all. And they're just stuck there thinking, how do I beat this? How do I compete with this? It's okay to chew through an entire wall, but it's not just the base. It's the person that has built this is indomitable. Their spirit is unconquerable. Their building is impeccable. Their logic is flawless. This kind of player is a once-in-a-generational player. We've had thousands and thousands of people play this game, and yet the bugs are frozen in fear, seeing a new build. The next generation is upon us. We're witnessing history and we don't even know it. And I will laugh my absolute arse off if this has anything to do with winning the game. I am going to laugh myself to sleep tonight if all of this proverbial building up actually comes into anything good. Oh, that'd be fucking funny, dude. He left since he won already. Califer's connecting from America. And it, depending on whether he's East or West Coast, really depends on if he's on a manageable like ping or not. I'd hope that both captains can make it to the end of the game, you know, because it really should be representative of their gameplay and their captaincy, etc. So I really do hope that he doesn't get booted every now and again. Let's take a look at Rockets. Yeah, I'm obviously kidding, by the way, everyone. I'm obviously kidding. This is, it's just a bit of a meme. It's just a bit of a meme. Okay, Rockets, so, on the south, okay, the train had a use, it has a purpose. We're training back to main, the main train, as we'll call it. The main train to the brain of the game is heading back to main to fill up the main silo. Do you go all the way in, or you just go kind of halfway in? Okay. The main train is going back to the main base, somewhere in and around this area, I'm guessing, to unload a load of LDS. Research should be ticking away nicely from the north. I'm not entirely sure about the south. Research is 97% complete, which is a great look. The south have it queued, but they're going for laser damage first. They, for some strange reason, have personal batteries queued up. Like, that doesn't... You don't need that at all. I might be wrong. Oh, no. No, you don't need that at all. Am I an idiot? No, personal battery. I don't know if it's a personal battery. What do you need this for? You don't. Is somebody going to make a super suit in the finals game? Because I'll tell you right now, Iron Man in this game doesn't exist. It used to. You used to be able to get away with doing it, but things have gotten so fast now and so efficient that there's no point in wasting even a single blue chip. I mean, I'd love to see it. Like the Power Rangers, mate. What's probably happened is a new player on South has decided to just research something that they think will work, but won't really work. You know, like it's nice to have. You know, it's a nice idea, but ultimately it's not really gonna help you. Okay, well, yeah, endgame parts are in. They're on. They're here. Oh, dude, Space Age Biter Battles is a thing, by the way. It is real. It exists, and we're currently fine-tuning it. So you'll be able to find Space Age Biter Battles up on the server list. It goes down every now and again for tweaking, I believe. But it's on. We played it on Friday night, and every time we're running it, we're learning new things. Coincidentally as well, I'm also playing Space Age at the moment too, and I'll be doing a lot of that next week, so feel free to tune into that. If you want to come and play, I said this last week, and I mean it, if you want to jump in and play with me, feel free to. The only thing I ask is you don't grief me, because I will be doing that to myself most of the game. So yeah, if you want to jump in and just build something, feel free to. It's just Purple Rush, yeah. I mean, Purple just is overtuned at the moment, I feel. And we need to somehow bring it into line, or either buff everything else, or nerf it a tiny amount, and see how we go, you know? You see, that's where I've avoided playing Space Age for now, because I haven't finished the DLC. The moment I finish the DLC, I'm going to turn into a Space Age BB monster. Because vanilla is vanilla, you know, like I have my playstyle, I have the thing I do well, and I don't mind converting, but like I'll either outpost or I'll defend, or I'll attack, sorry, and be, you know, the Minister of Defense. But Space Age, dude, yeah, there are some possibilities there that have yet to be explored. And so what we've got now, and this is very unique in this situation, where you have a situation where a new game or a new concept is being invented, right? And so at the moment, if you design something in Space Age, it could be named after you. If you create a build that is just perfect, you could have the Seasick build, right? Or the Blitzy build, or the Yokos build. And that's really cool. Like, I love that idea. It's so fluid and so fresh that anything and everything can be invented right now, right? We don't know what the best play is. We don't know what the meta is going to be. We don't know what the end game looks like, really. Like, people are making it up. So the ideas we have today might not be that good tomorrow. And the things that are being created now might last forever. So why not be one of those people, right? Why not try and innovate? I would. 100%. Like, I would try and just jump in and try and be like, right, I want to make a defensive build. The best way to win is not to play at all. We love to play. We love to play. But yeah, so I just love the idea that there's this elusive thing that exists out there in the ether, and somebody will stumble across the best way to do things. They will. It naturally happens. And so, like, if it's Carl, you know, the great Carl build or whatever. Yeah. So North now should, just quickly ticking back into the game, should be, they finished their silo research, they're miles ahead there, and they're now increasing their mining production, and they're going through all of their laser researches, which is great. I've watched Califer stream. He had an Aquilo science build that was very, very strong. I see. See, I'm avoiding Space Age bite battles until I've played through the DLC, and we're playing through the DLC as we speak. So, yeah, I look forward to that. If you like watching Factorio, generally speaking, I'll be doing that during the week. I've got a few things that I also want to stream in between that, including some 3D modeling, because I'm going to be doing some 3D printing. And what I really want to do is, and let me know, guys, with this might sound like a really random thought, or maybe a bit of an odd thing to ask, but like, if I was to make like an insert, like, let's take an item from Biter Battles, right, or from Factorio, right? I don't know. What would be a cool item to 3D print? A fish? Nah, a fish isn't that cool. Let's say like a blue chip. Let's say I printed one of each of these chips, a green chip, a red chip, and a blue chip, and I put them on a bracelet. I could do a giveaway. Literally, you don't pay any money. I don't need to know where you live or anything like that. I'm not trying to, but like, I could print like an inserter, you know? And then I could follow myself modeling it, and then printing it, and then painting it, you know, and then send it to somebody. So my project this month is going to be make an inserter, or my project this month would be make a construction bot. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I would happily send that for free, absolutely for free. I don't want any money for it. I'm not asking anybody to give me anything. I'm just saying, just challenge myself, right? Could I make myself, how about this, right? Could I make a small electric pole and connect it to like a rail signal and actually put little LEDs in the rail signal? Do you know? And again, I know it's a bit, we're watching a grand final and stuff, but just bear with me because we are waiting for things to happen here. That's why I'm, you know, talking about this. But imagine, or I 3D print one of the trains. I model and print one of the trains, you know, and we just put it on a track. And like, if anybody would be interested in that, I really want to stream that stuff, because I am not a 3D modeler. I'm not a very good 3D printer. And I think it'd be really fun to go through that journey of just getting into Blender and building up some cool items, printing them, painting them, sending them to a winner. You know, we'll do a raffle where everybody's name goes in a hat, and whoever wants it, or whoever wants into that item, puts their name in and they get it. I could do anything, literally anything. I could print a bug. Oh yeah, let's do that. I could print one of these guys. North have got silo. Oh, imagine 3D printing power armor. That'd be sick. Or just one of these guys. Literally 3D print one of these dudes. Rocket is 40 out of 100 parts. Thanks for keeping me on task, guys. Sorry, I do meander sometimes about this stuff. So yeah, keep me on task if I do kind of meander away from the game. 40 out of 100. The South are very, very far away from that silo research. In fact, it hasn't even started. They have all of the relevant items needed to have a rocket. Meanwhile, in the South, I do believe we have our Prod 3s. This is our second silo. Oh, dude, how cool though, right? 3D print a working flame tower. I was thinking like a furnace, where inside you can see flame and stuff. You know, and then maybe like put it in resin. I don't know, dude. I think it'd be sick. I really do. And I think it's really achievable. Like, I think it's genuinely achievable. Or one of the, imagine printing like a car. Like this scene, literally this scene, a car with some blue poison. Maybe like a poison capsule in the air as it's being thrown out the car. And like the bugs. Oh, mate. Yeah, we're making that happen. We'll start small. Obviously, we'll start small. So that's 2 silos now up and running for the north, right? Is there a third? But yeah, you may see me pop up on the arts and crafts segment of Twitch. And if you see that, I'll be 3D printing. And I want to do like a time lapse of the print itself. 4 slices of time. Okay, the one thing they're missing, those beacons. Are they going to beacon this? Surely you beacon this, right? You've got the space on the edges here. You could do undergrounds here and just chuck a couple of beacons. I mean, anything works, really. There's no wrong answers. Oh, we've caught it. Perfect timing. Good stuff, boys. I got rid of my old one, and I'm going to buy a resin 3D printer. If any of you guys know anything about this stuff, please, please, please send it to me on Discord. Give me some feedback, some advice. But I'm looking at a Elegoo resin printer. It's kind of small. It can't do big prints, but it can do like medium-sized prints. I think they go for more than 1,000. I think they have to go for like 3 to 5k. And I know that it mostly relates to like how much stuff they have in storage. But I'm sure they've got enough to build a couple of rockets, right? And beyond that too, you only really need to build 2 or 3 here. Bamboo Lab, yeah, that. So Elegoo and Bamboo Lab are the 2 that I'm bumping into often. I bought another cheaper resin, filament one, and it just gave me problems. It was like a second rate. It wasn't one of the named brands, and I got it off Amazon. It wasn't very good, so I'm committing now. I want to buy a proper one. I've got the space for it. I've got like a little hobby room in the back room of my house, so I want to just, yeah, like why not, dude? Let's do it. Yes. Oh yeah, dude. I've got a fan and everything. I've got the ventilation, tubing and stuff. Yeah, stalling here could be terminal for the north. If they stall too long, the south could actually rise. Especially with the amount of items they're making at the moment, the late game items they're shipping over to the main base. Like, it's actually scary. If they can get any semblance of a silo down, I'd worry about how fast they can get rockets going up and down now. That being said though, let's stay here for now. Rocket number 2, crests. We'll keep a timer on this as well, right? Because I want to see how fast rocket 3 comes in. We'll get a good idea here of how fast these rockets can come in. Yeah, dude, hit them with a big hit. But then we're on POC. If they're overly cautious, they build 10 rockets. It's a grand final though, so they might. But if they want to get a good punch in early, they send 5. 5k white. The south are in shambles, and then they can build more behind that. That's my take on it, right? That's how I would go for it. 5k white signs obliterates their defenses. Everybody has to defend. There's no way you get a rocket up. Maybe you get 1k white signs to send back to the north. Again, the north are at minus 137,000. So a single rocket from the south to the north does nothing. Dude, the threat farmers have been the MVPs. Absolute MVPs. Silo Research is at the back of the queue. They're going for energy damage 6. So yeah, their lasers are going to be really strong. They don't have a long coverage of lasers, but I'm sure somebody somewhere on the south is building them to bring them in. Pipes should come back. I think he's just connecting from far away. But Pipes is a very strong player. I mean, it would be good to keep him around for sure. They are. I think they're aware that they're second to the punch here. You know, they are second to the punch. Also, another stat I need to keep in touch of is defenses lost. So down the line, this panel will become very important. So for instance, produced, consumed, sent? Oh no, lost, sorry. So for instance, the south have lost almost 100 lasers, which isn't that bad. You can rebuild them. You've got a lot in storage and you've placed 1,000 of them. But as the attacks come in, as the pressure comes from the bugs, you're going to start losing more and more of these, right? They're going to start going down. So, you know, as that attritional warfare kicks in, are you going to be able to sustain the amount of pressure, the waves and waves and waves of bugs crashing into your base will provide you? And my argument is probably not. Probably not. The North are talking about whether to send or not. Interesting. Rocket number 3, blasting off to space. I love this animation, but I actually wasn't a big fan of the new rockets. And then we, in my space playthrough, went to space. Love it. Absolutely love it. Everything about this is awesome. Just look at it. It just looks sick. How can you not love that? So we're looking at now 3K, 3K on the North, with the potential to build even more. As they said in their own all chat on North, that they don't even have a silo on South. In fact, they don't even have enough. I can't stress this enough. Everyone main increase petrol. Interesting. Oh, dude, I experienced it for my first time ever. It was awesome. I felt like a small child again. You know when you're like, no way, oh, it's so cool. I've made my little kid inside of me was like, yeah, it was fucking space, let's go. It was sick. I loved it. It was so good. So that silo has built. We have some modules down now. This will be slower for the North. However, it is producing. It is producing. So, you know, here we are at 64 out of 100. All it needs to do is make 1 rocket here. These guys make 4. That's cumulatively together, all in one hand, 5,000 white signs. And you can just keep rolling that on, right? What we're running out of here is LDS, right? LDS is slow. But that's just purely off the back of just needing lots of resources anyway, right? So, item ingredients shortage. Is it copper? It's copper, right? Yeah, copper's low. But not on everything. And you're still expanding out here too. Okay, so some of these builds, copper is non-existent. Why? Is it because green ships have to back up first? Or is it just a throughput issue? Oh, it's a throughput issue. Here we go. Yeah, one of these lines is quite weak. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's just tapped out. No, you can. What the fuck? Lads, what is this? Boys, look at the state of this. This is thinning. Absolutely thinning. Oh, if you're... sorry, I should have checked chat. If you're playing Space Age and you're okay with mods, visible planets. Oh, that's sick. Yeah, dude, I'll get onto that. Look at this. It's just a line. It's a full line, dude. 2k sent? No way. I feel like I've been baited there a little bit. No, 2k grey signs. 2k grey signs. And it did 0.6%. They're just offloading it for the sake of offloading it. You threw me through a loop there. I was like, wait, what? Did they really? Did I miss that? Am I blind? I question my own existence, mate. Terrible. Terrible. That's all good, mate. It's all good. It's an intriguing, it's a perplexing end game here because the cynic in me says send early. Force the South out of their position. They don't survive 150, 160, 170% bugs. Because what that drives up is the threat number as well. Sorry, I'm just having a throat sweet because my throat's killing me. Had the North continued to send purple, we'd probably be around about the 130% now, because it does fall off. Well, after a certain point, it runs out of road and becomes less efficient. But we'd be at about 130, but they would be losing resources to the rocket building. And I would argue now, at this point, rockets are probably number one. LDS is slow for them, and it's slowing down their rocket production. Potentially they send 4 with 1 being made in the mid. Okay. So North's main rocket goes up at the 2 hour and 17 mark, which is not bad for a main base at all. Not bad at all. Okay, so 1,000 gets returned now to main. Meanwhile, Carl and Carl's base returns down rocket number 4. So there's 4 here, 1 in main, 5 in total. 5 in total. The question remains here. To win a grand final, do they send or do they stall? Do they send or do they stall? And you can see now some of the southern players scanning the borders, looking for weaknesses, looking for what they can do and what they can't do. And you know, at the moment, this is what the current behemoths are doing. The current behemoths are getting this far into the wall. If you send 5,000 white signs, this becomes worse. And if you trash their lasers now, I mean, yeah, okay, they're fully upgraded, but if you can trash their lasers now, they don't produce as many. So Captain Clutch says it all. Carl, at the next one, send your next launch. And it's just LDS. That's all they're missing here is just LDS, which is fine. It uses a bunch of VRAMs, may not be good for everybody. Apparently Woob thought about doing something similar but decided not to. Do you know, I'm not too sure. I'm kind of experiencing a lot of this for the first time for myself. Like we have a, could be satellite. Yeah, it's sat parts for sure, right? Or is it? Yeah, it's satellite parts, isn't it? Oh, radars. Yeah, the handcrafting radars. That makes sense. But yeah, dude, I'm loving Space Age. Holy. I am absolutely loving it. It's terrifying because I don't really know anything about it. I purposefully stayed away from spoilers. I absolutely just did not want anything to do with spoilers, but I think somebody just called me boring. Oh, damn. So I'm not going to name them. Somebody's messaged me saying, you need to make audiobooks. I could fall asleep to you talking. And I don't know if that's like a compliment or not. Thank you, though. I appreciate you. I'm not going to name them, but it is somebody that's currently watching. Hey, do you know what? Fair enough. I've been told I have a very... What's the word? Like listenable? Is that the right word? Listenable voice? It's very non-accenty, so it's not like I've got like a really thick jock accent or non-great. Yeah. Plus, I mean, and you guys know this from watching the stream a lot, I take the piss out myself a lot, like, because why not? I'm not very serious. Well, no, I can be, but I don't want to be all the time. So, thank you, mate. I appreciate you. I'm hoping it's mostly the really chill music that adds to the vibes, but yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. So one of the sponsorship opportunities I have is for a book manufacturer. So I got an email through. So I hit 2,000. I hit 2,000 followers here, and about almost 2,500 on YouTube. And I got an email saying that you can do sponsored stuff, right? And the money we're talking about here is good money. And again, I don't want to make it all about me, but it made me question, like, why am I doing this? You know, why am I doing this? Like, I'm doing it for fun, right? I enjoy streaming. I enjoy bite battles. I enjoy gaming generally. So I'm doing this because I really enjoy and have a love for gaming. So if somebody wants to pay me hundreds and hundreds of dollars to talk about video games, or to review video games, or to give me keys to hand out to my community so that we can all play a video game together? Is that selling out? Is that the opposite of what I'm doing this for? Because this is good. This is the kind of money that could pay bills. Not just like buy me a beer on the weekend, or, you know, this could pay my mortgage. You know, genuine, it's actually good money. And I'm not selling out, like, I'm not going to endorse a product that's bullshit. But I think that's the thing. I don't want to lose the fun of it all. Like, I don't want to read off a script, number one. I don't want to be like, hello, today, welcome at Manscaped, and buy the ball shaver 5,000. Like, fuck that. I'm not doing that. I refuse to do that. I'm not selling out. You can put as many zeros on a check as you want. I'm not doing it. But if it's a product that I agree with, like there was one that had books. It's a book manufacturer, and basically they pay you to read a chapter of a book, and then you basically try and say to people, look, if you like sci-fi, if you like fantasy, if you like, you know, fiction, non-fiction, you know, buy them from this distributor. They're better than Amazon. They're cheaper than Amazon. And I might do that. I might say, hey guys, like, give me one of your books, send one to me, or send me a chapter. I'll read it out. I'll try and do voices and make it fun. You know, I won't just do it in only my voice. And if it's received well, then yeah, you get some business off me, and, you know, you give me a couple $100 off the back of it, which is wild. Oh damn, you guys seeing this? Target priorities? You're right, lameness. I could. However, that would take away from the mystery of what will happen when eventually they do send. And I believe that the next rocket will be a send, if I remember correctly. So I could spoil it for everyone, but I like to live in the mystery of the moment as to what will happen next. You know, life is a mystery, and I believe that ahead of us, in the not too distant future, the next 5 minutes, maybe 10, could be 15 if they're kind of slow, but the mystery of Balatro, of the white science conundrum, the white science enigma will unfurl in front of us and reveal itself to be exactly what it is and also what it's not. Damn, dude. I don't mean to, but sometimes I use way too many big words. I fear they're moving into stalling territory. Yeah, dude. I'm like, if it was beforehand, it was like 100% win for the South. The longer they stall now... Okay, do we have anything silo-wise? Let's check in on research real quick. Okay, silo research is queued up just ahead of laser shooting speed. Game speed is at 0.8. And I would recommend, if I was adminning this, I would drop it to 0.75, because we're anticipating a large send very soon. And the only reason I know that is because I see chat. But if I was on the, if I was in the admin side of this and actually refereeing the game, I'd make sure I preload the game speed so that the moment the send happens, the game speed drops. That way you can pick it up fast as well. So you drop it on an instant and then you pick it up. But here we go. 5 have gone up, 6 have come back, sorry. 6 have gone up, 6 have come back. 6k up here, send it baby, says Marriage. He spent his life in the trenches. There's 1 in Maine and 6 by Carl. I'm 10 minutes from home. I could join the stalling. That's the spirit. 2 from Maine, okay. There's 8k white science sat floating around in the ether on the north. The South have no sign of a silo anytime soon. It's wild, isn't it? The latency is, when you get to end games like this, and this isn't like a late game, if that makes sense. Yeah, it can be powerful, dude. Like, it can really throw you off. It's changed? Oh, perfect, yeah. 0.75 is like a really decent spot for it to be in, where it's not super slow for everyone, but it keeps most people in. Don't get me wrong, there are some games where people will just get dropped. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, and unfortunately not everybody has like mega computers that can keep up. But that being said, you know, you want to keep as many people in as possible. This is, by the way, guys, a grand final. Off the back of this game, somebody will be crowned champion of all champions. The best captain to ever have played this tournament, and potentially the best captain ever, that isn't called Ghosty. And that's fine. We can't all be me, and legendary, and hilarious, and humble. I need to change it up, dude. I'm repeating the same lines. I've become stale. You know, I need to come up with some new material. Alright. Send. The call is in. The pod has landed. 7k is picked up with +1. 8k from Carl goes across. The South are now 193%. And there's more to send from the North. Califerbop calls it everyone to the wall now. And there's still some more to go. There is some white signs up here. I'm 90% sure they still have some. Califerbop pings out the front line. Guys, make it to the wall. And Jesus, guys, you're going to need it, because some of this, it's going to melt. Like a bendy bus hitting a brick wall at full speed, this defensive wall will get folded up. 500,000 threat. 193%. Let's just check real quick before things spawn in and get really spicy. 8k from Carl is a 90-point jump in evolutionary terms. And again, 500,000 gets sent. I feel like now the music has to change. And change it will. Okay. We're going to start off not very tense. And it's going to build. Yeah. Oh, mate, epic battle music? It is. But we're going to go slow, right? We're going to start off in the Shire, having just accepted the ring, with Gandalf on our side. And the hope and prospects of saving the future. And we're going to end in Mordor, with volcanoes going off around us and orc armies pillaging us. Damn. This is going to be carnage. They're already halfway through the wall. In many ways, this is any music is funeral music at this point, mate. Oh god, I could put on happy pop and it's just funeral music, if you get my drift. It's all gone to shit. They are absolutely melting, and there's so much more to come. The North, with their 8,000 white sign send, has just obliterated the South's strongest, thickest, and best defended wall. And if that's what's happening here, I dread to think about what's happening outside of here. The thinner edges, the more anemic parts of the wall, to both the east and the west. The bosses are huge, heavy, belligerent behemoths, and they're just going to tear through anything they see. As you can see here now, crumpled onto the floor, what used to be functional flame towers are now just ruins on the ground. The wall is holy, and the hole is being widened. Oh god, to add insult to injury, the door is getting opened even further by the behemoths. They're on top of the defences. Is this it? Has Clutch managed to clutch this game out over Califerbop? Both teams have played this incredibly well, by the way. There's no shame in losing a game like this. But this seems to be impossible. Inevitable. And as we see, the bugs now have just breezed through this wall. They're approaching the coal, they're moving towards power. Power is losing coal now completely. Even if they have a nuke up, you'd need to fund this, you need to fuel this, and it's going to be bug food. Devastatingly, oh my god, there's just nothing you can do. All you can, the beating heart, the beating brain is going to go down soon. Don't quote me on that. A genius once said, power is low, they're just not fueling up this really large block. Again as well, by the way, the lasers firing non-stop will eat into your power. But we have one beacon of hope. Ray of sunshine in what is ultimately a turgid and turbulent affair for the South. And even with this many lasers firing as often as possible, the power is in the yellow and dipping even further. The last true hope. It's close to the river, it's well walled up and defended, and it's built by a legend. I'm saying it now, guys, if this works, I'm building this in every game I play. I don't care. This is now a meme. If this for somehow saves the South, which it won't, but if it does, we need to make this a lore thing, right? The base, the little base that could. Everyone needs to build one of these. I'm saying it now. That is wild. Okay. The bugs have torn through. They've gone back now to take care of more of the defenses just off to the west. Meanwhile, directly to the south in the main base area, or the frontal part of the wall, massive waves of behemoths are crashing through. This looks almost impossible. Now, obviously the south can kite this out, but to what end? You know, what's happening next for them? They're 24% research the silo. It just looks impossible, doesn't it, from now? There's not a huge amount we can really do from here other than hope that they can kite this out. Ultimately speaking, realistically, there isn't a huge amount the South can do other than potentially get some capsules, you know, get in a car maybe. Try your best to just stall them, but in the background, by the way, whilst all this is going down, Carl just sits back here and sends more rockets to space. The main base here sends more rockets to space. So on top of this, compounding on top of the pain that you're already experiencing, is going to be even more pain. Even stronger bugs. And no, dude. The South have kept the North at 46, 47%. Now 48. For over 2 hours. Or, sorry, roughly 2 hours. They've kept that game state for so long that the North haven't really had to do a huge amount. They threat farmed, yes. But even then, they've kind of slowed down on that too. This has been a very, very strong game from both teams, but the North just seem to have pipped it. Again, it's not over till it's over, but, you know, at the moment, behemoths are slamming into production areas that you just do not want to lose. That may have run their course, but still provide decent amount of protection from your main base. It's not over till it's over, but it's over. Yeah, pretty much. I'm waiting for the sideswipe, dude. I'm waiting for the wave that's coming in here. Here we go. This. Power is already getting chewed to pieces. Again, it's one-tapping stuff. The nuke is exactly where? Where's their nuke at? Here? No! Dude, the nuke is directly in the line of fire. We may see a very large and spicy explosion. A spice explosion, if you bear with me. Again, English obviously isn't my first language, but I can butcher it. I've learned it well enough to get it wrong. It's like that famous musician said, I'm playing all the right notes, just in the wrong order. And yeah, it's not going to take more than a few seconds for these guys to just decimate this power plant. This is not long for this world at all. And they're just going to shred this to pieces. And they're so close to the nuke. Even if the nuke goes down though, the amount of devastation that's already been laid to waste here on the South is more than enough. You know, if it's not this wave, it'll be the one after it. If it's not that wave, it's the 5 or 10 that happen afterwards. And just watch this. They're just mowing it down like it's tall grass. Just get out of my way. What? Steam engine? Fuck off. Nope. Absolutely not. Get out of my way. This is my life now. It's got to be red, surely. Yeah, dude. Yellow to red. Yellow to red. Did the nuke fire up? Yeah. Oh no, nuke's still powering up. Oh, what a wounder. It's at 600. So they're not getting the maximum amount from the nukes yet because they're still about 200 to 300 degrees off from like being fully powered. Alright, this behemoth wave's done with that. On to the next thing. Probably this. And then probably all of this. This is... yeah. You hate to be part of it, but you love to see it. And I say it every week, and I've said it all the way through this tournament. There are no draws in this game mode. No draws at all. You win or you lose. A Marich. Carl, send 2 more. Savage. Marich the Savage. That's what I'm going to call him from now on. He's been savagely attacking the bugs, and now he's been having savagery here. Okay, boss. Yeah, dude, enjoy. I'll try and cover as much of it as I can, but yeah, I want to see if they go for the 2 more K from Carl. 218%. Main base has still not sent any white signs. I'm quite sure main base hadn't sent any from here. Let's just see a total, right? And then we can do the maths on this. No. They've built and sent 10 rockets. Damn. And it's not long until this wave crashes into the immovable object. That's a good point, actually. Does it all end up, if you have multiple landing pads, are they shareable? Let's get this on. Here we go. This is better. There we go. Proper music. Proper fighty music. 1 landing pad per... I see. Right. So I get you. Right. So these guys are sending rockets up, but they're landing at Carl's base. I see. That's interesting. I didn't think about that. I just thought maybe it's 1-to-1. So, you know, when you build a silo, there's then a twinned landing pad. But that's actually really useful. So you could have multiple silos across the whole of the map, just sending. And then you just collect everything back and scoop it up and send it all at once. I like it. So how close are they? Well, kind of a little too close for comfort, if you ask me. This whole pack of bosses will not get dented. We are not long. And by the way, guys, as the game ends, when the game ends, whichever side wins, I'm going to play you a song. Damn, another death. That King of Goo Goo managed to plug into an AI program. We're going to listen to it together. Hopefully I'm going to get the levels correct. So give me a second whilst I set that up near the end of this. And yeah, I'll send you a link to it as well. So if anybody wants to listen back, they'll be able to... or do I play the song? No. It's a bit rubbing it in, isn't it? If I play the song as the game is ending. Did they go for the... Look at that. Look at that. All of my hard work gone. And there's bugs. Did they pull up the reactors? They did. Damn, that's kind of smart. They pulled the reactors up so they don't lose them. I mean, they're going to lose anyway, but it's whatever. And people are just dropping like flies now. Bugs are everywhere. It's inevitable. And the only thing that really survives is this gem. Imagine if it goes untouched. Just imagine. The one thing that doesn't get destroyed is the most cursed build in the entire game. It's already a meme. It's a grand finals meme. It's not just your average meme. It's a grand final meme. Oh god. Alright, the bosses they've had enough. They're walking down the belts. They're locking into the silo now. Multiple bosses. Aggressing onto the silo. It's not long now until the end of this tournament wraps itself up. The North have got it. They've managed to win. Well played, everyone. It's been a strong tournament so far, but it seems to me, and appears to be, Clutch's win. GG, everyone. Well played to Clutch. What a great game. Number one. Firstly, what a great game. And they're gonna power up a nuclear reactor in the meantime. Oh god. Right, let me get this song for you guys to listen to real quick. There's an AI song for me to play if Clutch wins. Now, I'm going to paste the link in chat if you guys want to listen. Okay, Clutch wins. Visit site. Boom. All right, let's post that into chat. If any of you guys want to listen to this in your own time, feel free. This is where it's come from. I'm going to play it now, and it might not come through straight away, so I might need to restart it. But let me play this on the browser. Okay, and that might be coming through.
No time to chill.
You guys hearing this?
Califer tried, but bots got sapped. Clutch played clean, the victory snapped. Jesus lit, the bots got fried. Clutch stood tall while others died. Stealing brains, he earned the name. BB Masters, Clutch wins the game.
Music's coming through, nice. Clutch, this is your winning song, by the way, generated by AI.
Lit, the bucks got fried. Clutch stood tall while others died. Stealing brains, he earned the name. BB Masters, Clutch wins the game. 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 Clutch wins the game.
I'm not going to lie, I like that.
Feed the flame.
I like that. I don't like this. Whatever this is, I don't like this. But Clutch wins the game. I'll send you the link to that, mate. If you wanna use that, I might use that in the final video on YouTube. You know, I might play that song as it plays out. But mate, well played, really well played. That is the final game of the Biter Battles Masters Tournament. We have crowned Clutch the winner of the entire tournament. Califerbop, however, a fantastic player. Take nothing away from losing that game whatsoever. A very, very strong one. Do you want me to play the Califerbop one as well? We have two. I'll play you the other one. It's kind of, you know, this isn't to rub it in. It's just because both were made, so we may as well listen to both of them, right? Let's play the second one. And I'll send you a link to this in chat now, just in case you guys want to listen to it in your own time. Here is the second song, and I'll play that for you right now.
From cakewalks to chaos, he never slowed down. Belts ran clean and he claimed the crown. Dr. Claw fell, then Clutch got burned. Califer built while the biters churned. Raise the lads, let rockets fly. Califer rules the factory sky. No box too big, no pace too fast. He's the master, first to last. From cakewalks to chaos, he never slowed down. Belts ran clean and he claimed the crown. Dr. Claw fell, then Clutch got burned. Califer built while the biters churned. Raise the lads, let rockets fly. Califer rules the factory sky. No bugs too big, no pace too fast. He's the master, first to last.
I mean, they're both really good. I'm not going to lie. I know that people have mixed feelings about AI and all that jazz, but I like it, guys. I'm a big fan. Yeah, thank you for joining me, guys. It's been a journey. It's been a fantastic tournament, number one. I want to give a shout out to just you guys. Thank you for joining me. I would be doing this if one person was watching, but we have so many more. New people, old friends, new players. It's been a blast. I really, really, really love doing this. I can't wait to do some more. I'm really happy I'm getting back into streaming, and it's just been a blast. So I'll be streaming a lot more often. The content may be varied, but there will be a lot of Factorio in there too. The last thing I'm going to ask, guys, do any of you have any friends that stream right now that have like just a handful of viewers that we can raid and we can make their day? If any of you have any friends that are streaming that have like literally just like one or two viewers, and like us coming in saying hello would make their day, let me know and I'll drop us all off and we can make somebody's day. so we can pass on the good vibes, you know. Cathlicious. Bacon cake. Oh, boom. Yeah, we were talking about let's do it. Let's raid Cathlicious. And we'll do this each week, guys. We're going to do this each week. We're going to try and make somebody's day. And I know that it's so simple and I don't expect everybody to stay, but if you just say hello, I think that would really put a smile on her face, and we'll try and do this every week. You know, we'll try and pass on some good energy. So for me, I've been Ghosty. It's been so much fun doing this and hosting it. Space Age, yes, Blitzy will continue, and it will continue very soon. I'm going to try and get a run up tomorrow. Now that my streaming seems to be working and everything seems to be like actually, you know, lined up well, I'll be able to stream now. So more Space Aged, more me, I guess. I'll try and see if I can get some sponsorship stuff going on. Again, if you see me doing sponsored stuff, just know it's helping me pay for my bills. I'm not working at the moment because I've been ill for a while, so any income in that respect would really help me. But I'm not asking you guys to use the product or buy a product. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. But if you see me doing it, please don't think any less of me. I'm just trying to out some new things. That being said, that's all in the future. Right now, it's been a great day. It's been a great game. It's been a great tournament. You've been amazing. This has been great fun. Let's make somebody else's day. Why not? And thank you. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me that you guys turn up. So let's keep the vibes going. And I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. See you in a bit. Bye.